we get to turn up to the footy and engage with our listeners and work with brilliant people all the time. So it's the best job in the world, mate. Why stop now?
Pretty darn cool. Well, well-deserved accolades, mate, from all of us here in Sydney Town, Q. So, well, sorry, mate.
I've got one thing. I'm going to leave this as a tease. I got a lovely message from Billy Moore that was put on video yesterday. He should have been in attendance. I'm going to leave that as a tease because I will find a time tonight when Billy turns up to tell you why he wasn't there at the official little medal presentation yesterday.
Ooh. Well, if not at the start, that could be your whole 10 till 10:30. Yeah, good. All right.
Exactly.
We'll check in with you at half-time, Q. Good on you, mate. Quentin Hull there at Lang Park in Brisbane. Luke Lewis and Andrew Moore here in the boardroom. We've got Laurie Spooner on the touchline in Townsville, 6 minutes away from kick-off. North Queensland unchanged. Their 18th man, Jackson Barlaw, for St George. Illawarra, front rower Emre Gula to the bench and Blake Laurie to start in the front row in jersey 15. Nicholas Sugranis is their 18th man. Referee Grant Atkins, Casey Badger in the bunker. On the text line, 0467 920 222. Peter writes, hi Andrew, have a great call. I know Saints have been disappointing the last 10 years, but go you mighty Dragons. Rock solid, Pete, good for you. Hi team, listening as we drive back to Gosford from the snow after camping at Dalgety on the banks of the Snowy River. Up Cronulla, nice to watch the boys near home tomorrow night at Gosford and not have to drive to Cronulla, says Tom, Joe, Dan and Josh. Well, nice to have you all listening. Safe travels and hope you had fun in the snow.
It would have been freezing.
It's the snow.
Yeah, but camping by the river.
I know, mate, it's not my go. And mind you, I suppose if you're all rugged up and you're, big fire pit or something.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
That's a bit more palatable.
But I was down at my mate's place on Wednesday and I was nowhere near the snow and it was -3 and it was, I was shivering.
Yeah, -3 is cold.
Very cold.
It's officially cold. Hi Andrew, over the past 11 seasons you've gathered together an incredible crew of callers, experts, sideline eyes and technicians. No matter what game you're calling, it's compelling listening. Thanks for making our weekend so special. Well, Rog, that's beautiful to read. Thank you, mate. Andrew, welcome to Howard in Queensland by the fire. Love to getting to know you about Laurie. You always know a true North Queenslander. Says Derek from Howard. Indeed, Derek. And Loz, what about his revelations about his dancing skills? And I think last time we did a boardroom game and Laurie on the sideline. Let's go down to you now, Laurie. We were watching you on our monitor in here and you were displaying some of those disco Derek moves as you were weaving your way through different players. It's still there, Loz.
I don't know about that, Andrew. They were just the TV station kept calling one across. I kept going with him. It might have just looked like I was dancing, but yeah, I was trying to go in between the players.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the circumstance. You've still got the moves.
And noticing a lot of white jerseys in the stand. A lot of Dragon supporters up here, Andrew. It's good to see.
Good deflection. All right, Loz, we've got kick-off only a few minutes away there at Townsville Stadium. Andrew, Luke and Laurie, hope you all have a great evening. Enjoy commentating in the boardroom and keep up the good work from Dion. Thank you, Dion. Hope you're very well and good luck to your Rabbitohs tomorrow night against Louis Sharkies at Central Coast Stadium. Come on, the Mighty Cows. Thanks for your call this evening, says Tom.
Not too much down. A little bit of luck, but not too much.
Well, they've lost 7 in a row. They've got left.
Well, they need one more for, is it Craig Bellamy? Wayne Bennett's coaching.
All-time record,
yes.
Equaling 8 straight loss, yeah. Go get 'em Dragons, says Heather. Dalgety isn't on the Snowy River. Okay. Well, that's what they said. There you go. I've never been to Dalgety. Andrew, enjoy the show. How wide is the rugby league footy field? It's Bruce.
57. Is it 57?
It's
65.
It's 65. Somewhere between
50.
Somewhere between 64 and 66 metres wide. Happy night, Friday night rugby league. The King will put the sword through the Cows tonight, says Ash the Tyler at Toowoomba. 0467 920 222. Well, Louis, the players aren't far away from taking the field. I'll hold off naming the teams until local radio stations around the network join us. But the Cowboys we can see in a huddle now in their dressing room. So this is a tough one. Who do you like?
I like the Cowboys. I think they're due for a bounce back. I think they're due for a Cowboys type of game where they play a fair bit of football and throw the ball around. We're going to see them back at their best. I'm going to tip Cowboys at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. I probably think they've got too many points in them as the Dragons take the field. But that defence, Laurie Spooner, you pointed out before, is beyond atrocious for the Cowboys. How do you see this game unfolding?
Yeah, I just think the Dragons will edge them out. Just the defence last few weeks have been really poor. A bit of pressure on young Tom Duffy because I'm told he said it through the week, Todd Payton, that they'll only re-sign one out of Jake Clifford or Tom Duffy. So there's a bit of pressure on him. And he plays really well. I hope they give him a little bit more time and he can build as a player, I reckon. But I'm just thinking Dragons just, Andrew.
So they're only going to keep one of Tom Duffy or Jake Clifford, and that seems now very clear. Which one do you keep?
Well, Clifford's still out with a strain in his thigh, and I'm not too sure. Probably a big hinge. We'll see how Tom goes tonight. He's had a few first-grade games. He hasn't excelled, but he's done his job. Last time he played, I thought he did his job. So, yeah, he's only young. I'll probably edge towards Duffy a little bit, but, yeah, it's going to be decide which way they're going to go.
All right, Loz, look forward to chatting to you throughout the game. Both teams are on the field. We're joined by local radio in 20 seconds' time. The referee, Grant Atkins, will get us underway very, very shortly. North Queensland and St George Illawarra. Louis tipping the Cowboys. Laurie tipping the Dragons. I'll go with the home team, the Cowboys. I think they might have too many points in them, but we shall see. Is it a game of tip or do they really rip in? We'll find out very, very shortly. Welcome to round 21 action of the NRL on this Friday night. Listeners just joining us, I'm Andrew Moore with Luke Lewis. North Queensland and St George Illawarra about to get underway at Townsville Stadium. Louis and I are in the boardroom. Laurie Spooner is on the touchline as the Cowboys kick off deep to the northern end of the ground, and it's a horrible start. It is over the dead ball line on the full. So the first penalty comes from the first play, and it goes to St George Illawarra, whose team is Clint Gutherson, fullback and captain, wingers Tyrell Sloan and Corey Allen, centres Moses Sully and Matt Feingay, 5'8" Lycan King Tongia, and the halfback Kyle Flanagan. Jack Tabellin, second row is Jaden Silwa and Luciano Leilua, front row is David Clemmer and Blake Laurie, who's coming for Emre Gula, the hooker Damien Cook, and the bench Jacob Little, Emre Gula, Hamish Stewart and Michael Mollo. 18th man is Nick Sagranis. Coach Shane Flanagan is now on play two. Laurie hits it up and he's tackled 29 out from the Cowboys line by Neem and also Robson. North Queensland, fullback Scott Drinkwater, wingers Robert Derby. I'll get back to that in a moment as the Dragons spread it to the left and they have it through Corey Allen, only 10 metres out from the North Queensland line. 10 in from touch in the southeast corner. The ball played to King Tongia now. Goes to the right to Bellin, away to Flanagan. Short ball on to Suar. Got it away to Sully. Sully takes on the defence, but he's going to be captured there by Purdue and Brayden Burns. Stands in the tackle. 7 out from the line. 10 in from the western touch line. Ball played Sloan. Goes left to Flanagan on the inside. Laurie. Cotter's in his road. Puts him down 1-on-1. 8 metres out from the goal line. Last play Dragons. No score after 90 seconds. Comes left Flanagan away to King Tongia. Then got the ball away to Feingay, but it's a changeover. The Dragons are caught 8 out from their own line and Cowboys will get the ball for the first touch. No score. Scott Drinkwater, their fullback. The wingers are Robert Derby and Brayden Burns. Centres Jackson Purdue and Zach Laybut. 5'8" Thomas Duffy and the halfback Tom Dearden. The lock Ruben Cotter. Second row is Jeremiah Nene and John Bateman. Front row is Griffin Neem and Harrison Edwards. Hooker Reece Robson. And the bench Carl Lawton, Caden Lars, Kai O'Donnell and Cohen Hess. 18th man Jackson Barlaw. Coach Todd Payton. The referee Grant Atkins, Tyson Bruff and Jared Cole. The touchies and Casey Badger in the bunker as North Queensland works it within 8 metres of halfway. 2 minutes gone, no score. 4 tackles gone for the Cowboys. Robson goes right to Neem. He steps straight into Bellin and Leilua and caught 4 metres in Dragons territory. Last tackle for the Cowboys and Robson goes right to Dearden for the kick from 47 metres out. Sends it to the northeast corner. Gutherson's under it. Takes a 10 out from his own line and the chase pretty good. Led there by Zach Laybut. 15 out from the Dragons line. 2.5 gone. Scoreless start. Luke Lewis, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, boys. Well, look, it wasn't the greatest start there right from the kick-off from North Queensland as they kick it dead, but they defended their line nicely and they made a lot of metres with the ball in hand and come up with a really good set. So they're back into the arm wrestle now with the Dragons.
Yeah, it's promising for the Cowboys' goal line defence. Laurie Spooner revealed earlier they've conceded more points than any other in the competition, but now Reece Robson is among those penalised for inside the 10. So the first 2 penalties go to St George Illawarra. 3 gone, no score. Let's check in on the touchline. Laurie Spooner is there. Laurie, good evening to you once again as the Dragons find touch 5 metres in North Queensland's half.
Yeah, Andrew Lure, positive sign for the Cowboys. They defended really well. Better decision making than last week. But the Dragons on the ball now, they got to keep them out.
Sully, 32 out from the Cowboys line, plays it. It goes centre field left. Flanagan turns it in for Clemmer. And he's put to the ground now. 28 out from the line by Harrison Edwards and Reuben Cotter. Dummy half is Cook. Darts to the left. Offloads to King Tongi away to Fiinga. Got straight past one. Now captured by Dearden and Bateman. 11 out. 8 in from touch Southie's corner. It's played and it comes right to Cook away to Bellin. Links up with Flanagan. Short ball. Gutterson to Sully. And in off the wing defensively came Burns. And he gets help as well as the ball spews out the back. Purdue is in there. It's play on, says referee Atkins. And Sloan recovers it. And Purdue makes the tackle. 10 out from the line. 12 in from touch western side. 2 tackles left for the red and the whites. Flanagan, open side left to Laurie, caught by Edwards and Neem. 7 out for the goal line. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Cook goes left to Flanagan, links up with the cut-out ball to Gutherson, then away to Fiinga. Fiinga wraparound ball to Gutherson. He just throws it out the back, juggled by King Tongi, 15 out. He sends it right to Cook, still the last. Confronted by Nene, links up with Sully, left to right to Sully with a grubber kick, and it's recovered there by Braden Burns. He returns it over the 10, gets past Cook. Burns over the 30, goes left away now to Purdue. He's dragged down by the wing of Tyrell Sloan, 6 short of halfway. What about the action? Dearden now. He goes right to Cotter. He straightens over halfway to Clemmer. They lure him to Bellin. And now on these back, 2 metres in Dragons territory. 5 minutes gone, no score. Great work at the back there by Braden Burns as Griffin Neem hits it up centre field. Caught 10 metres in Dragons territory by Laurie and Cook. Now Robson goes left. Duffy, away Drinkwater, hands it off on the inside to Nene. Sully is there with Clever and he stands in the tackle. 25 metres out from the Dragons line. 4 tackles done for the home team. Edwards goes right to Dearden, then sends it for the inside run here by Laybut. He's over the 20, beats Gutherson and he'll score as easy as you like. The PNG Quibbles rep, Zach Laybut, scores a great individual try for North Queensland. 5.5 minutes gone, the home crowd roars. North Queensland 4, St George Illawarra 0, the try to Zach Laybut.
Now, this is too easy here for Zach Laybut. It was a really simple cross, but then the 2 front rollers there for the Dragons, it was horrible. You could see the communication through Jack DeBell and it's like, your ball, no, not mine. And then Clemmer just looks at him and goes, well, you should have made that tackle. He went through untouched in this early in the game and then beats Clint Gupson, all ends up, scores a simple try there. That is great work. But just to think the Dragons were down the other end of the field, they were about to score, they had the Cowboys shot, and then all of a sudden the Cowboys are first on the board.
Yeah, set up by that return from Braden Burns, really. 4-0 Cowboys down to the touchline at Townsville Stadium and Laurie Spina.
Yeah, a lot more desperate, the Cowboys. Literally chasing. And no drop ball either, which has really been good. And I'll tell you what, Zach Laybut, he was so down from last week. He had a poor game, but beautiful run. His acceleration through that gap from that inside ball. Beautiful try from them. They've started really well, the Cowboys.
Scott Drinkwater to convert. It's a pretty easy shot. Landed all 4 shots a goal a week ago. 10 metres out just to the left of the post and he pilots it right between the sticks. North Queensland draw first blood to lead St George Illawarra 6-0 after 7 minutes. Your texts are welcome, 0467 920 222. Hi Andrew, did you hear that Danny Peacock was found dead in Toowoomba from Benno? Yeah, we mentioned that last night. Very close to Matt Elliott, who was on hand when he got the news last night. Now, again, our thoughts are with Danny's family. What is Laurie doing? Play for the Dragons. I thought he was our sideline either this evening. Very funny, Tom. Different Laurie. Ant says, hi, Andrew, Louis, and Laurie going Cowboys and Broncos tonight. You all have a lovely weekend. And you, Ants? 0467 920 222. And Tumbarumba Bulldog says, hi, Andrew, and team confirming Dalgety is on the banks of the Snowy River. So, well, that's 2 in favour and 1 against. But I'll probably back the family that's just been there. Oh, no.
Yeah, correct.
So here's the kick-off from the Dragons. Down 6-0. Up next at 8 o'clock, Brisbane host Parramatta at Lang Park. Quentin Hull on the call with Billy Moore and Dane Bojack. As Harrison Edwards returns the kick-off, taken by DeBellin and Blake Laurie, 11 out from the Cowboys line. Plays the ball to Duffy. Goes right to Nene in centre field. He's wrapped up, 18 out from his own line. Southern end, 7 minutes gone, and it's 6-0 in favour of the Cowboys. Griffin Neem on an angled run. Now by Luciano Leilua, 25 out from the Cowboys line. Robson, short ball ball left to Ruben Cotter. Charges in centre field into Cook and Clemmer, and finally dragged to the ground 11 metres short of halfway after 4 tackles. Played to Robson, and Dearden will kick early. He pokes a kick from inside the 40, down to the northeast corner, very near the touchline, but Gutherson picks it up a few metres in from that eastern side, and he's tackled 21 out from his own goal line with a very good chase coming from the Cowboys. Robert Derby and also Zach Labour, the try scorer. Played to King Tongi, goes right to Allen. Corey's tackle, 23 out from his own line and 15 in from the far touchline. King Tongi, a dummy half, works the ball right now to Fienge, and he's tackled at 28 out from his own line. Dragons with the footy, down 6-0 after 8 minutes. Cook goes to the right to Laurie. He scored 32 out from his own line by Robson and Cotter, and all of a sudden the Dragons not really going anywhere. Leilua on the left edge, runs into Robson, Dearden and Bateman, and put to the floor. 11 short of halfway. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Comes right, Flanagan the kick from inside the 40. Plenty of height in the kick, but it's straight down the throat there. 18 metres out from the Cowboys line of Braden Burns. Brings it over the 30. Steps in field. He's having a good start. He scored 11 short of halfway. Louis, 6-0. Cowboys in front.
Well, that was an outstanding defensive set there by the North Queensland Cowboys. 19 metres, the Dragons, mate. They got the ball pretty much right on the 20 metre line. They kicked, but just before the 40. So
Drinkwater going to pass away. Duffy broke down by the ankle. Sully, 32 metres out. Plays the ball Robson quickly. They're at 6s and 7s, the Dragons. It comes to the left to Dearden. Cut out ball out the back to Dene. Delayed pass now on to Burns. And Burns just stops. I don't know what was happening there. He just stopped and looked. And he's tackled 12 metres out, 8 in from the western touchline. Played to Dene. Sends a long, pointless pass. Bounces to Cotter. Short ball away to Harrison Edwards. He straightens into Clemmer, DeBellin and Cook. Standing in the tackle. And he advances to it in 11 at the goal line in front of the northern post. Played on the last to Robson. Goes right to Duffy. Short ball. Griffin Name gets past one. Held up by Gutherson and DeBellin, a metre out. And the Dragons just hold on there. 9 minutes 30 gone. St George Illawarra and North Queensland. The Cowboys lead 6 points to 0. Let's check in on the touchline at Townsville Stadium. Laurie Spina.
Yeah, they really must have had some soul searching this week, the Cowboys. No drop ball. They've been dropping so much football and defence. A lot of desperate stuff. They're really name dropping and getting that in bodies in the front. Yeah, really turn around this week. Very impressive, Andrew.
Griffin Neem's got a bit of blood coming from underneath his right eye. And the trainer goes to wipe that off now. So 9.5 gone, Louis. It was a really impressive start by the Dragons. But the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Cowboys look far superior.
Yeah, I feel like the Cowboys were a little bit surprised with the kick-off. It took them a little bit of time just to find their feet, but really from there they've been great. They're defending well and their attack looks really, really sharp, and their line speed at the moment is excellent. So the Dragons have got to find a way to get out of their own end, and it can't just be simple one-out carries. It's not going to work.
All right, so now it is with the Dragons, and Terrell Sloan 12 out from his own line, played to Cook. He works the ball to the right edge, and the tackle made on Suar. Still inside St George Illawarra's 20. Now Cook goes left to Sewell. He straightens into the defence of Nene. Got through Robson, but across comes Edwards with the assist. Good quick play the ball to Damien Cook. He sets off from dummy, half over the 30 to the 40. Runs into Cotter and Neem, 10 short of halfway, but it is the last tackle upcoming now for St George Illawarra. Kick comes from Flanagan from just outside the 40. Toe poker, end over end, taken 20 out from the goal line. And it's with Scott Drinkwater. He's put to the ground by Lycan King Tongia. Clemmer was in there as well. And he plays the ball 28 out from his own line. To the right, Robert Derby. He's wrapped up by DeBellin. And Blake Laurie, 33 out from the Cowboys line now. Robson to the right, Zach Labour onto the ground. Good strong tackle there coming from Leilua. Robson, left centre field to Bateman. He's caught by Laurie, DeBellin and Leilua. 1 metre in St George Illawarra's half. 2 tackles left for the Cowboys. Robson takes off from dummy half. And he beats DeBellin over the 30. Gets it to his right to the backer-upper of Tom Dearden. And the Cowboys have their second. Brilliantly set up by Reece Robson. 11 minutes and 8 seconds gone. North Queensland 10, St George Illawarra 0. The try finished off for the Cowboys after a great break by Reece Robson. Finished off by a 30-metre burst, or a bit less from Tom Dearden.
Yeah, well, Tom, great work there. Great recognition there from Reece Robson out of dummy half. When he looked up, 2 front rollers, worked back on side, uses his leg speed, gets out, holding the ball in 2 hands, beats DeBellin, all ends up. It's 2 clean misses from DeBellin now. and then a really nice simple 2-on-1 in the backfield there against Gutherson. And Tommy Dearden, he's been having a great year, had a blinder in State of Origin, and starts tonight off really, really well. He's got a try assist and now a try, and we're only, 12 minutes into the game. So good start by the Cowboys.
Let's go to the touchline, Laurie Spina.
Yeah, beautiful break by Robson there. He knows a little bit tight around there. DeBellin missed the tackle. He's been a bit quiet for the Cowboys the last few weeks, but he's really stood up. And of course, the ever-present Tommy Dearden backing up. Good try, Cowboys. They've started on fire tonight.
Haven't they? What? Drinkwater gets this shot 11 out right in front. With the left boot, he moves in at the southern end and nails it between the sticks. He's 2 out of 2. North Queensland 12, St George Illawarra 0. Gee, some of these defensive signs, Louis, are worrying for the Dragons.
Well, it's every set at the moment. They're looking like they're going halfway through. So every set that they've had, they haven't scored obviously off every set, but they're poking their nose through, creating half breaks. There's always opportunities going on. Their forwards at the moment are so loose. There's no communication through their forwards in defence. So that's scary signs for the Dragons.
So they'll bring it back to the kick-off. St George Illawarra already in a hole, down 12-0. Now around the grounds, and there's a New South Wales Cup game being played tonight at North Sydney Oval. I'll get that net put up on our screen if you don't mind. That's kicked off. West Magpies leading North Sydney Bears 6-0. The AFL games get underway later. Essendon against the Bulldogs. And the Sydney Derby, Giants and the Swans at the Sydney Showground. Duffy takes the kick off, gives it right to Harrison Edwards. Bang, he's hit with some force there by DeBellin and Suar. Plays the ball now to Duffy. He sends the ball right to Burns. Backs his way to the defence of Clemmer and Laurie and Cook. Stood in the tackle, 19 out from his own line. Robson dummy half. Works it right to Griffin Mean. He charges up the centre to DeBellin, and also there was Suar. Plays the ball midfield. 27 out from his own line, Robson. Long ball right to Bateman. Jinking run into Leilua, Cook and DeBellin. Caught 11 short of halfway. 4 tackles done. Now Robson. They kick on play 5, and it's Drinkwater's left boot from inside the 40. Finds the grass. Work to do for Gutherson. The ball bounces in goal, and it's going to hold up. He's got to field it just in from the dead ball line. In comes Purdue, Burns, and one other Duffy, and he's caught in goal. That ended up being a perfect kick from Drinkwater. I'm sure that Clint Gutherson assumed that was going to keep rolling end over the dead ball line, but it just held up perfectly for the Cowboys, and Gutherson had to play at it and couldn't get back into the field. Line drop out Dragons, who trailed 12-0 after 13 minutes and 30 seconds.
For me, that never looked like it was ever going to go dead. That kick, as soon as it started bouncing, I didn't feel like it had enough roll on it, but he goes a short line drop out.
And to the east, although it's a long, short line drop out, easily taken by Nene for North Queensland. Or was it Derby? It's Derby. He's put to the ground, 22 out on that far side, 20 in from touch on the eastern side. He'll play the ball to Robson. Here come the Cowboys again, already up 12-0, and they get a set restart as well as Harrison Edwards standing in the tackle. Now on his back, 11 out from the line, right in front of the northern post, 14 gone, 12-0 North Queensland. Robson goes right to Dearden, then away Drinkwater, turns it into Bateman, caught down low by Clemmer and over the top to Bellin, 4 metres out from the goal line. Robson dummy half. He comes to the left away, Dearden, plays out the back to Duffy. Duffy delayed pass, linked up there with Purdue, flung to the ground by Sully. 8 out, 8 in the northwest corner. Dummy half Burns, goes right now to Duffy. He dummies to Edwards, goes across field, delayed pass Cotter, nailed by DeBellin, 5 metres out, 2 tackles left for the home team. Robson goes right to Dearden. Dearden dummies his way, but straight into Leilua, 3 metres out from the line. Last tackle Cowboys, and it's Robson. He'll go, puts a little stab kick himself, and the Dragons, I think, get there first, although coming through was Drinkwater and Bateman up against the Dragons player. Gutherson will go to the bunker.
One grounding by Dragons. Can we check any interference from Bateman on the way through? No try.
So no try. The ruling is that Grant Atkins is comfortable enough that Clint Gutherson got there first to ground it. But what happened to Bateman chasing the kick out of dummy half by Robson? Did King Tongia reach out for him? He did, I reckon.
Definitely takes him off his line.
And as we've seen, well, for years really, doesn't take a lot of contact, Louis, to constitute a penalty in that case.
No, correct. I think he does change his line here to make a tackle.
I'm with you. And he does make contact.
And he pulls out late, but he does make contact.
I think that is going to be... Gutherson and Bateman are coming across. I'm not convinced it should be a penalty try if the bunker agrees with our assessment.
But if he doesn't take him out there and pushes him off his path, I reckon he definitely beats I think Gutherson there.
And what happened in the end anyway? Gutherson does slam it down. Yeah, gee, I mean, that is an argument for a penalty try.
And there's an argument there, but how do we know he gets it down as well?
Well, you never know. That's irrelevant. It's just in likelihood. Here we go. No try.
I'm not going to have a clock. We're just going to kick. Stay back.
So no penalty.
Time on hold.
It's just a line dropout. So, well, we're way off. I'll check in with Woz in the text. Short line dropout. This time it bounces favourably for the Dragons. And Leilua hasn't got straight past one, straight past two, straight past three. Great run. And he'll play it 12 short of halfway. Well, that all went horribly wrong for the Cowboys. As the ball played to King Tonga. He sends the ball open right side right as they get within 8 of halfway through Matt Feing, Plays now to Cook, goes right to Bellin, through hand, Flanagan, short ball Sewer. Crash straight through Tom Duffy, comes back at him with the name Purdue, half a metre short of halfway. Now he works his way to halfway. 15 minutes 30 gone, North Queensland 12, St George Illawarra 0. King Tonga takes on the defence, but Bateman and Dearden bring him to the ground. He's played 8 metres in Cowboys territory. Comes right to Laurie. Crashed straight through Edwards into Neem. Bateman comes in, as held as the call, and Laurie maintains his feet. 30 out from the line. Played on the last Cook. Goes left to King Tonga. Puts up a kick to the southeast corner. Up goes Derby. The ball falls free. And it's a penalty going to North Queensland.
Yeah, no, definitely a disruptor.
You go through not competing genuinely.
So Corey Allen, the player, penalised. 16 gone. Cowboys 12, Dragons 0. Let's check in now on the touchline with Laurie Spooner. How did you read that last stab kick by Reece Robson and contact or otherwise from King Tonga?
Yeah, probably. I understood why he sort of didn't reach out with his arm and stop him. His sort of body had to go around him. But I was happy either way, but I understood why they went that way.
Okay, fair call. He's dead. Going left to Neem. Runs into Sewer, Laurie, Cook and Clemmer. 31 metres out from his own line. Ball's going to be played now to Robson. Comes left to Edwards. That's an Edwards. Oh, reeling out of the tackle. That time was Sewer, but he recovers to assist. 7 short of halfway. Robson goes left Duffy, away to Nene. He steps in field to Bellin and Flanagan, and he'll play it 20 in from the western touchline. 8 metres in Dragons territory. They go right. Short little pass away from Drinkwater to Neem. Stands in the tackle of Leilua and Cook. 29 out. Last tackle Cowboys. Robson goes right. Tim runs to the line. Turns it inside, and Drinkwater just throws a Specky back to Griffin Neem. And did he not know the tackle count, Griffin Neem?
No.
He just ran straight into the defenders. Didn't try to pass, kick anything. Changeover, Dragons get a 27 out for their own line. 17 gone. North Queensland 12, St George, Illawarra 0, Luke Lewis.
And what's really clear to me that North Queensland want to tear the middle apart on the Dragons side because they're doing a lot of cross plays. They're moving through the middle of the field, a lot of inside balls. So their forwards are really struggling. I'm looking at DeBellin over on his haunches at the moment as well, and they get a penalty coming out of their own end as we speak. The Dragons, so they'll get a really good opportunity and good field position here.
15 short of halfway. Penalty goes to St George Illawarra. Too slow in the play of the ball. And Emre Gula has replaced DeBellin for St George Illawarra. And we're almost 18 minutes in. Dragons find touch on halfway eastern side. Take the tap through Feanger. To tap and go by the centre into Bateman, Laybutt and Dearden. Caught 35 metres out from the line. DeBellin looks ginger as he comes from the field. Now they're working right to Emre Gula. First touch taken by Neem and Cotter. 34 out from the Cowboys line. Damien Cook, open side right to Flanagan. Short ball onto Laurie. Continues on that angle into Nene, Edwards and Robson. Tackled 22 metres out. Chance here, St George Illawarra. Cook goes right to Sewer. Plays out the back to Sully. Quick hands to Tyrell Sloan. No one's going to stop him. Harrison Edwards was coming across, but he was unmarked effectively. Tyrell Sloan, he's able to score for the Dragons. 18 and a half gone. They do hit back after some crazy play by the Cowboys on the last. Then they give away the penalty. Sloan scores. North Queensland 12. St George Illawarra 4. 18 minutes 45 gone in the first half.
Yeah, well, you knew it was going to come eventually. Sloan loves scoring tries. The Cowboys been off a little bit, and then all of a sudden, with defence, then all of a sudden, just a penalty, a little bit of field position, and it looked way too easy. easy. I wanted to see the replay again. Did someone make contact? Because there was no one in sight there of Sloan. There was about 10 metres to run, and he goes over as easy as you like. But that is a simple try there for the Dragons. And they'll be cheering. Really, they've had everything against them. They get one little chance. They get back into the game. They get this kick. They're only one try difference.
Let's go to the touchline at Townsville Stadium. Laurie Spina.
Yeah, disappointed. I didn't think Braden Burton had to go in so early. He looked like he was covered by Purdue, but probably with Purdue's size, he thinks he had to go in. But that's what they're doing last year. They were going in too many times and getting him short out there. They've got to have more confidence in each other's defence. But good try, Dragons. They noticed it was open there.
Cowboys 12, St George Illawarra 4, and now Kyle Flanagan 8 metres in from the western touchline, 22 metres out. Limited opportunities with the boot this year, but kicking it just under 90%. Here comes Flanagan with the right boot. He strikes it, he likes it, he's kicked the goal. So the Dragons get right back in it. 12-6, North Queensland leading St George Illawarra. On the text line 0467 920 222. If anyone was wondering why the Dragons didn't re-sign to Bellin, we've seen in the opening 15 minutes, reckon Stephen. Andrew, it looks like Xiaomi for now might be off to Canberra next year. Yeah, Brendan, I was reading today that he was having a look at the Canberra complex. Doesn't mean he'll sign. I reckon a few clubs will be chasing him, but the Dragons seem to be comfortable letting him go. I know they're very high on Christian Tuipulotu, as you would be, but you've got to be on the field, and he's injured a lot. Red V in Brisbane. Was that the Dragons getting one at the finish? And I have a heart attack. Not sure, says Red V. Let's see how it goes. Here's the kick-off, and the Dragons take it through Clemmer. 17 out from his own line. Caught there by Edwards and Payton. Played to Cook. Goes right, lay lure to Flanagan. Through hands quickly to Gutherson. Takes on the defence of Purdue and Duffy, and he scored 22 out from his own line. 20 in from the western touchline. 19 minutes 30 to go in the half, and it's 12-6 the Cowboys. Sewer up the middle. Runs into Purdue and Neem. Put to the ground. He plays the ball now for the Dragons. Cook, 32 out from his own line. Sends it centre field left. Tackle made here on Gula by Edwards, 11 short of halfway. Then he crept off the mark. Grant Atkins says go back and play it again. Does so to Cook. Sends it left to Laurie. Robson, Bateman and Cotter in his road, and he ends up on his back. 3 metres short of halfway. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Cook goes left. King Tongi with the kick. Towering one down to the fullback. Take the winger. It's Robert Derby with the catch. 18 out from his own line. Returns it into Feing and Leilua, and he'll play 27 out from his own line for the Cowboys, who lead 12-6 after 21 minutes. Now they go left to Laybuck. Now Bagula came in with a second effort there with his arm around the head region. So that's a silly penalty given away by Emre Gula. The Cowboys will take it though, Louis, deep in their own territory, and North Queensland leads 12-6.
Well, just as they get back into the game, they're starting to get back on the front foot. They make some good metres. They get back into a bit of flow, and then all of a sudden a silly penalty. That was a penalty every day of the week. Second effort, a kick up field. They're going to get good field position here.
Just raise your knee at the kickoff.
There we go.
It's on report.
Clemmer.
Time back on.
So Dave Clemmer put on report in the 22nd minute. Raised knee from the kickoff, so we've gone back a little bit. So come from the bunker. So now the Cowboys, 10 metres in Dragons territory. They swing it to the left. Duffy turns it into Nene, and he's going to be taken by Suar down low, and over the top Cook and Flanagan. 32 out from the goal line. Plays the ball to Robson. Goes right, Cotter away to Neem with a right foot step into 3 defenders. Leilua, Laurie and Clemmer. 24 out from the goal line. Cowboys in search of a third try. They go left to Duffy. Short ball, brilliantly done to Harrison Edwards. Other than the execution, it was forward. So all of a sudden, the Cowboys are just dropping off a little bit here. And the Dragons will get a scrum feed 20 metres out from their own line. It was a very short pass from Duffy to Edwards, but went forward. Around the grounds at North Sydney Oval in the New South Wales Cup. Now Western Suburbs Magpies 12 leading North Sydney 0. That'll be a fun night there at Bear Park, as long as you're not in the Tower of Terror. And the Dragons get this scrum feed on their own 20. I think Tom Payton would be disconcerted over the last few minutes for his cows.
Yeah, they've definitely fallen off over the last 5 minutes or so, just their concentration levels. But I tell you what, if they can get back to where they were, they had plenty of opportunities to put lots of points on the board. But look, they've still completed 10 out of 11, so it's not too bad.
So it's Corey Allen. Good run. He's taken 12 short of halfway. What about you keeping stats these days of completions? Comes to the right, Gula to Flanagan. Then away right edge to Suar. Knocked to the deck 3 short of halfway. Jacob Little comes onto the field for St George Illawarra after 23 minutes, and he's instantly flapping his arms about to the referee. He goes left to David Clemmer, and it's a set restart to St George Illawarra, the Dragons' first of the night. Clemmer, tackled by Edwards, 42 out from the line. Played to Little, goes left. Cook away to King Tongia. Out the back, Otherson. Beautiful wraparound pass to Allen. He's over the 20, steps straight through Drinkwater. But a great tackle by Tom Dearden. Mind you, it's
too far out for a bin for me.
It's a penalty going to St George Illawarra. Player tackled off the ball. Penalty's now 4-2 to the Dragons.
There's a lot of defenders there.
And, yeah,
there's a lot of defenders there.
ruled on Leilua. Oh, no, held back was King Tongia by Bateman. And what Grant Atkins is saying is 25 metres out, so too far to be considered a penalty for anything worse.
I've ruled live, and in my opinion, I don't think it's professional foul. There's so many other defenders. Feel good? Yeah, we're good.
Oh, a little smile there between Grant Atkins and Damien Cook in the end. That was a great ball though from Gutherson, wasn't it?
That was an outstanding ball, and they've actually, even early, the Dragons have had the right-hand defence of the Cowboys shot. They've got to continue to go there.
So now from the tap, Gula caught 20 metres out. 12-6 North Queensland. 24 minutes gone. Clemmer up the middle into Neem, Edwards and Robson. Tackled only 13 out from the goal line. Plays the ball to Cook. He sends it left to Flanagan. Turns it on the inside this time to Emre Gula. Gula taking Robson for a ride. Gula with the assist. He stands in the tackle 8 metres out. Played to Little. Goes left. Flanagan away. King Tongia. And the ball goes astray. Meant for Leilua. And diving on the ball. No, Laybut's dropped it. And then flicks it forward. Zach Labour could just let that go over the touchline. I love his desperation, but he made an absolute mess of it. So the Dragons will get another crack at the Cowboys line with 15 minutes 30 left in the half.
That was a weird play there by Labour. I just don't understand why he's going so hard for it. But
well, he tried to nip it in the Zach Labour. But instead it ends up over the touchline.
You know it's bad, right?
What?
You know it's bad. Nip it in the bud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for 40 years it was the other way. Here's Clemmer with the tap. Caught 13 metres out from the Cowboys line. Love you, Louis. Ball played to Little. He sends it left to Flanagan. Turns it on the inside to Emre Gula. Caught over the top by Neiman. Down low by Robson. 7 out. Real test here for the Cowboys defence. Little sends it right to Flanagan. Back on the inside to Suar. Runs right across field. Straightens down to Neem. Two-handed to Cook. Quick Little. Back to Cook. Then to King Tongia. Cut down. Try saver by Laybut. Plays the ball. It's been dropped. 6 more tackles for the Dragons, who get to within half a metre of the goal line.
Okay, we've got back to tackle 1 for 10 metres. We've got a 6 again for 10 in the ruck. Can we see if this gets to the line or not before he goes back?
Touch shot with Source
We have got 6 again, that'll be tackle 1.
So at least that will happen here as Dragons get the footy back. Let's go to the touchline at Townsville Stadium as Reece Robson just burst through the middle there to try and take the footy off Damien Cook. Laurie Spina.
Yes, that's an important tackle. I think it was Laybut out there, stopped him dead. But yeah, I can't see, it won't be a try, but they'll get the ball back because there was a knock on by one of the Cowboys there. It definitely won't be a try.
Yeah, again, it's just one of those to determine exactly the restart required here, or whether it is just a penalty to the Dragons for the ruck infringement. 12-6 North Queensland lead. They scored 2 tries in the opening 12 minutes.
now, liking King Tongia didn't get to that line there. It blows my mind. Like, he was over for all money. That was a massive play there by Labour.
Yeah, it was. Made up for his...
Yeah, he's boo-boo. Yeah, true.
So they're still looking at it.
Well, he definitely doesn't get anywhere near the line. It's going to be a penalty.
Well, you may as well do it. We can't hear for some reason Casey Badger tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a penalty to the Dragons.
We're going to restart for 10 metres. So it's tackle 1 here, you're short.
Okay.
Short of the line.
Just a restart.
Tackle 1 here.
And you'll play it just out.
Inside the 10.
So Damien Cook will play the ball to Jacob Little. All of that much to do about nothing. Play to Little, goes right down to Gula. And Emre Gula straightens into Robson, Neem. And one of the defender out there might be Cohen Hess, who's just come onto the field. Play down to Little, goes left to Flanagan, turns it into Leilua. Leilua straightens with aggression. Almost there. He's half a metre out from the goal line. Plays it to Little. I think I saw 6 more tackles being signalled here. Another ruck infringement as Fienge takes on the defence. And it ends up being a penalty for a high tackle.
Tom.
Penalty's now 5-2 to the Dragons.
That was on report. We've gone slow, 10, slow, high. Tidy up down here. Don't get inside the 20. Don't get messy inside the 20.
So Cohen Hess, the player placed on report for that high tackle, and the Dragons take the tap. Little goes right, Flanagan away to Gula. And caught 10 metres out from the line. Cohen Hess had only been on the field for a minute or two. Now Little sends it left to Clemmer, centre of the park. Got a one-hander out the back to Jacob Little. Ooh, watch him from here. Taken by Neiman Robson 2 metres away. 12-6 Cowboys, but the Dragons attack again. King Tongi to the right, Flanagan out the back, Gutherson explodes through Dene into Purge, Ewan Burr, and one other defender, Duffy, 4 metres out. Dummy half Sewer, centre field left, Flanagan away to Cook, then on to King Tongi, puts in a stab kick, flung through Binga, he gets there first, clutches it to the test, dives over to score. Try to Matthew Finge for the Dragons. Perfect kick from Wyken King Tongia. And the Dragons are about to draw level. 27 minutes gone. North Queensland 12, St George Illawarra 10. The try, his first of the year in the NRL to Matt Finge.
Yeah, good work here by Matt Finge. He had to use his speed, had to get this ball. There was a lot of people around. He gets a nice bounce, gets a great take on it as well, and scores a really nice try. But the kick and the execution there from Wyken King Tongia, absolutely spot on. So really well done to from the Dragons here to fight their way back in the game, be patient with the ball, had a lot of opportunity on the line. They didn't push the pass, they come up with the right play in the end, and they get the try. And there's still, 12 and a half minutes on the clock before halftime.
Yeah, Laurie Spooner on the touchline. We said pre-game anything could happen in this game, and I think we're starting to see it.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Entertaining, that's for sure, but King Tongia, Lou's been saying he's growing as a player, isn't he? Beautiful kick down. He's been running the football well. Nice try, Dragons. They spread the ball. They put the Cowboys under a lot of pressure the last 15 minutes. I've just got to ask someone, Jason Tomalala, how his injury's going. Jason, can you give us an update on your calf injury?
Yeah, still in rehab, so slow and steady, and still a couple of weeks out, Laurie, so a bit hard watching from the sidelines, so hopefully be back soon.
They've made a good start, but the last 10 minutes they've let them in.
Yeah, we started really fast, and I'm guessing that's how the boys wanted to play, and a bit unfortunate the last 20 minutes, like you said, giving them piggybacks, and when you're giving guys such a big, powerful team a lot of ball, they're going to make you hurt. So hopefully things change in the next half, and the boys finish off strong this last 10 minutes.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Laurie.
As Kyle Flanagan kicks the goal. Great job, Laurie, with Jason Taumalolo. Laurie, Barry Ross Spina. Reminds me of the old big league days with Channel 7 and Rex Mossop. Good job, Loz. 12 all the score, though, here, Louis, with 11 minutes 46 to go in the half. And while all the momentum and the play was with the Cowboys early on, that's completely turned on its head.
Well, it's flipped twice. It was with the Dragons for the first 5-10 minutes, and it went all back to North Queensland for 10-15 minutes. Now it's sort of back into the Dragons' favour. They've got to be smart now, the Dragons. They've got to keep getting to their kick. They can't give up this momentum. If they get it back North Queensland, they'll make them pay before half-time. And
from the kick-off, it's Emre Gula returning it over the 10, caught by Cotter, Hess and Neem. Plays the ball to Little. Goes right, Leilua. Caught there by Neem and Robson. Leilua against his old team. Dummy half Little. Short ball goes right to Moses Suley. And the defenders there, Nene and Cotter. He stands in the tackle though. 27 out from his own line. And Little takes off from dummy half. Caught now by Neem and Hess. 10 short of halfway. 2 tackles left. Dragons. Cook goes left to Flanagan. Takes on the line. Nailed by Robson and Bateman. 1 metre in Cowboys territory. Cook on the last. Finds Lycan King Tongia to his left. Drinkwater takes the catch awkwardly near the eastern touchline. 12 out from his own line. Returned it to the 20, where he's caught by Finge and Leilua. 12 all, 29 minutes gone. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. As now Robert Derby. He's caught 27 out from his own line by Cook and Little. Played to Dearden. Centre field left. And a driving run here by Burns. Gets to within 9 of halfway. To his feet. Plays it. Now to dummy half. They scoot over halfway, in fact, through Purdue. He plays the ball quickly to Robson. And now comes all the way right to Cohen Hess. Strong run into the defence there of Cook and Little. 31 out from the Dragons goal line. Last play North Queensland. Robson goes right. Dearden the kick from 30 metres out. Well short of the goal line. It's taken by Derby, but there's nowhere to go but over the eastern touchline. Although he did manage a flick pass. Goes 20 metres behind him to Dearden. Dearden links up with Drinkwater. Now 42 out. He puts up a left foot bomb. And Gutherson sprints to his right, went through his hands, picked up now by Purdue. He slipped straight on his bum. He's down 5 metres out. But it was touched by Guppo, so it's 6 more. Comes to the right. Duffy to Dearden. He's tackled 8 metres out. You knew something weird was going to happen then as soon as Derby threw it back 20 metres. Play to Robson, dummies right, goes left. And here's Duffy stepping his way into Suar. 3 out from the goal line. Cowboys with it, scores locked at 12. Robson, delayed ball to Griffin, who crashes over as easy as you like to score a try. Oh, was it forward? No, it's real forward by Grant Atkins. And that's why Gutherson was screaming in delight. So a try butchered by a terrible dummy half pass from Reece Robson. If he just passed it, half a foot backwards, Griffin still scores. But he delayed it too long and the left to right ball was forward. So Grant Atkins was all over it. Reece Robson bombed a try for his team. 12 all, 9 left in the half.
Yeah, I think the little double pump obviously makes the pass forward, but that little double pump also stops Emre Gore in his tracks and creates that space. So if he didn't do that, probably wouldn't have scored anyway. So, silly pass, but it was the right option, just not corrected right.
Here's Dragons with it. And they have it through Hamish Stewart. 16 out for their own line. Tackled by Dearden. It's played to Little. Goes left to Leilua. Bateman's there with Neem. 24 out for the St George Illawarra line. The Dragons trail 12-0. Now it's 12 all. Ball played Little. Goes right to Cook. Turns it into Stewart. Nailed by Neem and Cotter on the Dragons 30. Played again Little. Sends it right to Cook. Takes on the defence. Wrapped up 10 metres short of halfway. Last tackle Dragons. Kick will come from Flanagan from inside the 40 down to the southwest corner. And down to Drinkwater. Fields it on the full. 10 out from his own line. Heads to the 20 in a big dummy, but then he gets nailed by Stewart and Little. 25 out from his own line.
Stewart Little. No good.
Good name for a movie. Comes to the right now for Derby. Caught on his own 30. The text line, love the bonus mid-game interview. Hope that makes its way into the MC regime, says Luca. We'll bring that up with Michael tomorrow. Great work by Loz. With Jason Taumalolo. 11 short of halfway. Robson sends it right to Cohen Hess. King Tongia doesn't hold on, but in the end he does a swan dive, Cohen Hess, and he'll play it 36 out for the Dragons. Line quickly to Robson. Goes left to Duffy. Out the back to Drinkwater. Links up with Nene over the 20. Great tackle by Sloan and Flanagan. 11 out. Last tackle Cowboys. 12 all it is. 7 minutes 15 left in the half. Played to Burns. Goes right Drinkwater. Puts in a dink kick over the top. Stewart's there and he gets shoved into the in-goal area, I believe. And Grant Atkins says goal line dropout, St George Illawarra. 7 left in the half, 12 all the score. And now the Cowboys hopeful of getting the footy back. Joyce says, Laurie Spina, go tell them Cowboys to stop giving away penalties. And there's your typical Cowboys fan that we get on here. Can this official be any more biased against the Cowboys? Good on you, Tony. Enjoy the remains of the game. Here's the short line dropout. Take it, and the catch came from Robert Derby. 11 metres out. Played to Robson. Goes short side right to Labour. He steps in field. Gets to within a metre of the goal line. Still going as they get a set restart, the Cowboys. They're second of the night. The ball played to Robson. Comes to the left to Dearden. Then away Drinkwater. Turns the ball inside now for Lars. That's Caden Lars on the field. And he backs his way to within 3 of halfway. Dummy half Robson. Goes to his right. To Cohen Hess. Got through Hamish Stewart. And then beat Leilua. Wanted to steal the foot. He's over. Cohen Hess gets the try to the Cowboys. And he waves around his arms as if to say, let's go, Cowboys fans. He's over to score. North Queensland 16. St George Illawarra 12 at Townsville Stadium. 5 minutes 50 left in the first half. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, good work here by Cohen Hess. He's come on. He's done some really good things. Obviously, he got put on report for one of those tackles, but the last set was off the back of his carry. Had a really strong carry. Went over King Tongia over on that right edge. Got him onto the front foot. They come over a repeat set. The very next set, they get down to the field. He gets down to there's 3 Dragons players on him. Luciano Leilua, big human, just fights straight out of that tackle, spins out and scores a try. That's a big play there by Cohen Hess. A really good 5 minutes from him.
Yeah, Laurie Spina, that's Cohen Hess at his best, and we've started to see more of that from him this year.
Yeah, Andrew, he never had many injuries, but last year missed the whole season with the total knee reconstruction. But he's steadily getting back to his form, and yeah, he looks super fit. He comes on in the second half and is really outstanding. And he came in late in the first half, but yeah, he's really strong. Really important try for the Cowboys. I tell you what, there's been a few penalties, but not a lot of errors, and this game's flowing from one end to end, and really enjoyable to watch.
A lot of perspiration on players from both sides, Loz. Obviously humid in Townsville, as you'd expect. Here's Drinkwater, 12 out, 5 to the right of the post. With the left boot, he kicks the goal. He's 3 out of 3. So this topsy-turvy clash continues. Now North Queensland 18, St George, Illawarra 12, 4 minutes 37 left in the half. Come on, Cow, says Waddy. Let's have a good win for the North Queensland people. Good business in the pub selling sports drinks. Pick up the spirits of those North Queensland punters. Guys, can someone put some light onto why Jack DeBellin, who I love as a player, just stood still? He's an awesome defender. Normally, lucky it wasn't young Sloan, who would be getting bashed online from Anzac the dog, watching from Bundaberg at Manan's house. And thanks for sending a selfie too, Anzac the dog. Appreciate that on 0467 920 222.
He got burnt twice, didn't he, Jack DeBellin? One standing still and the other one from Reece Robson, which is unusual to see. He's normally not a bad defender.
So here's the kick-off from Damien Cook. Sends it down to the in-goal area, taken by Tom Duffy. He sends it right to Lars, whose father's career was ruined by Luke Lewis. And Lars is pushed across field, 14 out from his own line.
Good fella, Tommy.
All played. Cotter goes right to Din. Din dummies. Takes on King Tonga, nearly beats him. Din takes it from right, ends up being ankle tapped and hits the deck. 4 short of halfway. Great run by Din. Momentum's changed completely again. Drinkwater goes left to Bateman, gets away from Suar, links up with Jackson Purdue. Flanagan's in his road with Gula. Tackle made 5 metres in St George Illawarra territory. 19 in from touch, western side. Now centre of the ruck go the Cowboys. Held is the call. 36 metres out on Braden Burns. Plays the ball to Robson. Spins it right to Dearden. Out the back, Drinkwater from massive gap. Over the 20. Basketball pass to Derby. Steps in field. Gutherson's got him. They thought they'd put him over the touchline. They dropped off him. They put on a slipper. They lit the pipe. Put on a big bad coat and let him score. Robert Derby's over. 3 minutes 30 left in the half. Great wherewithal for the young winger. But Dragons defenders, what the? 22-12, Cowboys lead. Great work by Derby. It looked like he was going to be shoved over the touchline by Allen, and Fiinga did his forearm touch, and I'm not going to write it in yet, Louis.
I wrote it in, and so it's going to get taken off him. But I think his forearm does touch. Or is it a Dragon's hand? I'm not too sure, but it still blows my mind how he actually gets up and scores his try. But I think it's there it is here, and elbow. Yeah, he's on the line. Yeah,
that's right. Well, the Dragons should be lucky because all 3 defenders ended up falling over themselves over the touchline, and Robert Derby said, I've just got to get up and run 3 metres. But the forearm looks like it's touched.
Oh, not there. Look, it doesn't.
Don't know from that angle. Let's see what Laurie Spina thinks on the touchline at Townsville Stadium. Oh, it looks like they're going to the bucket now, Loz. That'll be taken off.
Yeah, it looks like he just touched it. Great effort by Derby, but yeah, the first one especially looks like his elbow on the line.
Robert Derby.
Isn't it funny how the angles like that there looks like it definitely.
At this point, the right elbow goes into touch.
Yeah.
We have a decision.
So no try. It remains 18-12. Derby deserves a ton of credit there for. I understand his elbow ends up over the touchline. There was not much he could do about that. But then, without that knowledge, to get up and score was great thinking.
Well, playing to the whistle.
Yep. His reaction says it all.
Okay, time on. Hold!
I'm going to leave it in just in case he scores later.
Oh, right. Here's the tap taken at Sully's court. 13 out from his own line. Ball played to Little. Sends it left, and the tackle's going to be made here. 22 out from the Dragons line. So 3.5 minutes to go in the half. Corey Allen shaken after that tackle attempt. Here's Gula getting straight away from Lars. Then a one-hander off the ground to Flanagan. Goes further right this time, and the Dragons winger Sloan is caught 11 short of halfway. Looks like Corey Allen's going for an HIA. Jaden Sewer on the open side left runs into Nene, and Hess standing in the tackle 6 short of halfway. 2 tackles left Dragons. 18-12 North Queensland lead. Gutherson up the middle. Knocked to the ground 4 metres inside Cowboys territory, and their greeting was Lars and Hess. Here's the kick on the last. Downfield from Flanagan, taken by Drinkwater. Just out from his goal line, sends it right to Braden Burns, and he runs into King Tongia, Little, and also out there for the Dragons now is Michael Mollo, 14 out from the goal line. As the Cowboys have it just outside their 20, leading 18-12, 2 minutes 30 left in the half. Later tonight at Lang Park, Brisbane takes on the Parramatta Eels. Quentin Hull to call the action with Billy Moore and Zane Bojack around the grounds. New South Wales Cup. First half, West Magpies 18, leading North Sydney 0. Bateman tackled now for North Queensland. 14 short of halfway. Play to Robson. Goes right to Dearden. Dearden jinks his way straight past Cook and King Tongia. Oh, he's good. He's got support in Drinkwater. Shut the gate. Horses, bye-bye. Try to the Cowboys. Tom Dearden, you are something special. Try to Drinkwater with a minute 53 left on the clock. This is the Cowboys at their best, and when they are, they're exhilarating. Try to Drinkwater. The assist to Dearden. Cowboys 22, St George Illawarra 12. Luke Lewis has a minute 40 to go.
Oh, Tommy Dearden's a freak, but he's been taken on like in King Tongia. Oh, I lost my voice there. Over on that right edge. And like in King Tongia, has missed a lot of tackles. It's just a little simple show and go. You got Damien Cook out there in the centre, comes up and out of the defensive line again, which creates that space there for Tom Dearden. He's got so much speed too, Tommy Dearden, and he never gets these passes wrong. It's simple 2-on-1 when you got Drinkwater pushing up the middle of the field. That was a beautiful try there by the Cowboys. But it's funny how this game's gone. Momentum switches in this first 40 minutes has been mind-blowing.
And what's that, a nose trumpet and Nurna celebration?
Remember the old Nurna? How good.
I do. 22-12 Cowboys to the touchline. We go back to you, Laurie Spooner.
Tommy Dearden, what a year he's having. Cut straight through him. And what about the defence he's doing? Gavin Cooper, the Cowboys playing with a bit of heart today.
Yeah, they are. And look, you see Tommy Dearden, he always backs up, but he's a couple of shows and go with how we got through there today. But I think now that Corey Allen's just come off, you've seen him just walk past me a second ago. We've got, who's moved out there to hooker? Damien Cook moved in the hooker, moved out to the centre. So target out there. I think you probably spoke about it already, but we're going to win tonight, Laurie. How good?
Thanks, Gav.
Conversion from Drinkwater. Laurie, I've got a question for you. You still there, mate?
Yeah.
When did you turn into Graham Norton?
Graham Norton?
Well, he's one of the great interviewers in British television. Michael Parker
they're just walking past, so I just grab them. It's all right.
This is a great, stunning new development. 24-12, North Queensland leads St George Illawarra. Oh, gosh, don't let Gibbsy know that this is now on the cards.
It'll be filthy.
Well, we won't call any play. He'll just be interviewing people everywhere. Here's a return from Caden Lars from the kickoff. Caught 8 out from his own line. Ball will be played to Robson. He goes centre field right to Cohen Hess. Crash straight through Leilua. Comes back at him with Little. 16 metres out for the North Queensland goal line.
Tackle 2, don't hold the defender. Move up, move up.
So he'll just play it 19 out from his own line.
Look at Cohen Hess there. Yeah, don't hold the defender. Oh.
Mate, Laurie will probably interview him at half-time in 20 seconds. Robson goes to his right to Dearden. Can't believe he hadn't heard of Graham Norton. Goes to the right to Robert Derby. Straight past Fegate, no ankle tap. 35 out, gets up to go again. Caught 32 out, needs to wrestle to his feet quickly. 1 play left. Laybutt dummy half. Goes left to Dearden over the 30. Dearden takes him on. Got the pass back to Drinkwater. Crossfield kick from 28 metres out. The ball is loose. Flying through, picking the ball up. Jeremiah Nene flies through the air. He borrowed Superman's cape. Nene's over. And the Cowboys extend on half-time. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12. What about that one, Luke Lewis?
Well, it's unbelievable. There was 30 seconds on the clock. Dead set, nothing happening. And then Tommy Dearden again down a short side. Comes up a nice little play. And then they get into the backfield. And then all of a sudden they keep the ball alive. Nice pass there from Drinkwater there as well. And you know what? Then Tommy Dearden sort of went back down a short side. There was nothing doing. Flicks the ball out the back. And then all of a sudden Drinkwater gets it. And he goes, you know what? I'm just going to put it up, see what we can come up with. And a really nice chase. Everyone's on side from North Queensland. And then Jeremiah Nene just has to bend over. Gets a bit of an ugly bounce, but picks it up, uses his speed, puts it down one end like a winger. And that was a beautiful try just before half-time.
Sully tried to catch it, went through his fingers, then ricocheted backwards from Braden Burns.
They're not going to take that off him, are they? With Braden Burns hitting the ball into a Dragons player. Backwards? No.
Well, not if it went backwards. I think on that replay it looked backwards. And the Nene needs a reward for that dive anyway. That goes backwards back onto Sully's hand, who is in front of Burns. So I think that should be okay.
Should be okay.
Let's go to the touchline and see who's next with Laurie Spina. Loz, Nene, try and confirm.
Yeah, definitely not back. Where has this been for the Cowboys? Desperation in defence, attack, no drop balls, brilliant stuff by them. Graham Norton, isn't he that American dude? I was thinking football.
He really isn't. Here's Drinkwater from the touchline, 22 out with the left boot. He strikes it, heading towards the post off the upright, no goal. His first message, 4 out of 5. And North Queensland goes into half-time, leading St George Illawarra 28 points to 12 for the Cowboys. Tries to Zach Laybart in the 6th minute, Tom Dearden in the 12th, Cohen Hess in the 35th, Scott Drinkwater in the 39th, and Jeremiah Nene in the 40th. So 3 tries in that last 5 minutes. Drinkwater 4 goals from 5 attempts. Cohen Hess on report for a high tackle in the 27th minute, 2 restarts. For St George Illawarra, tried to Tyrell Sloan in the 19th minute. To Matthew Thingay in the 27th, Kyle Flanagan 2 from 2, and David Clemmer on report with raised knees apparently in the 22nd minute. 3 restarts for the Dragons. Penalties in favour of St George Illawarra by 5-2, but Lou, it's all the Cowboys after that 5-minute onslaught in front 28-12.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was all Cowboys. Well, started off 5 minutes with the Dragons, then it went all Cowboys. They got off to a great little lead there, 12-0. Dragons worked their way back into the game 12-all with all their whatever you call it, momentum, that's the word I was looking for. Then all of a sudden, the last 9 minutes, the Cowboys were absolutely on fire, making breaks everywhere, scoring tries, looking outstanding. And then that last play with 30 seconds on the clock, they had to go 80 metres and they go and score a try. So yeah, it's great to see. This is a team that we expect to call every weekend. Yeah. And I had a funny feeling it was going to turn up, and so far the first 40 minutes it's turned up, and it's been great to watch.
Yeah, they are so fun to watch, Laurie, when they're firing. As you say, where's it been? But at least for tonight, the Cowboys fans will take it. They've had 2 parts of this game where they've just blitzed the Dragons.
What magnificent tries, both sides, entertaining, and the ball handling been really good. A bit of desperation in defence, but throwing that football around, yeah, where's it been? But Tom Dearden at the heart of it. I watch him in defence too, tenacious in defence, and when he's got that football, he's so dangerous. And yeah, the Cowboys, they've really surprised me tonight. They're really throwing the football around and defending with a bit of desperation. But remember, there's 40 minutes still to go, and you never know what can throw up. And the Dragons are still in this.
Around the grounds, New South Wales Cup, North Sydney Oval, and it's West 18 leading the Bears 0. Here, Cowboys 28 leading St George Illawarra 12. Hope you're enjoying the action with Luke Lewis, Laurie Spina. I'm Andrew Moore. Let's head right now to the ABC Newsroom.
News with Satyam Weinstein. Australia and the United Kingdom will not be following France's lead in recognising Palestine as a state, but the foreign ministers of the 2 countries have reiterated calls for an immediate ceasefire. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has been meeting her UK counterpart in Sydney as part of the annual OCMIN talks. Both ministers strongly condemn the situation in Gaza, describing the suffering of civilians as indefensible and a worsening humanitarian catastrophe. UK Foreign Minister David Lammy says the 2 countries are strongly committed to the pursuit of a 2-state solution.
The belief in a 2-state solution is steadfast in both of our countries. That is the only solution to the long-standing issues that we see in the region.
The US says it's considering alternative options to bring home Israeli hostages from Gaza after ceasefire talks with Hamas broke down in Qatar. The United States and Israel have recalled their negotiators with US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, accusing Hamas of showing a lack of desire to reach a deal. Hamas says it's keen to continue the negotiations. The State Department's Tommy Pigott says the militant group hasn't been acting in good faith.
While the mediators have made a great effort, Hamas does not appear to be coordinated or acting in good faith. We will now consider alternative options to bring the hostages home and try to create a more stable environment for the people of Gaza.
Thailand has rejected mediation efforts from third countries to end the ongoing conflict with Cambodia. Thailand's foreign ministry insists that Phnom Penh should cease its attacks and resolve the situation through bilateral talks. The United States, China and Malaysia have offered to facilitate dialogue. It comes as fighting continues for a second day at the border where at least 16 people have been killed, most of whom are in Thailand. The New South Wales Min's government is calling on Kiama MP Gareth Ward to resign from state parliament in the wake of his guilty verdict on sex abuse charges. Kelly Fuller reports.
This afternoon, a jury in the New South Wales District Court found Mr Ward guilty on 1 charge of sexual intercourse without consent and 3 counts of indecent assault. For the past 2 years, while facing the charges and going through the court process, the Premier has repeatedly refused to answer questions from the former Liberal Minister in Parliament. This afternoon, a spokesman for the government has released a statement. It says Mr Ward's position in the Parliament is no longer tenable, and as such they call on him to resign immediately. It goes further and says should Mr Ward refuse to resign, the government will take steps to protect the Legislative Assembly's integrity.
Internal Corrections Department memo has revealed private security firm G4S will provide support to police watch house services in the Northern Territory. Sam Perry has more.
Private security guards currently help transfer inmates between prisons and the courts, but an email sent to corrections staff yesterday confirms the Corrections Commissioner has signed a work order with G4S to expand its duties. Private officers from the American-owned security firm will work 24/7 to support external escorts, hospital bed sits, and provide support to police watch houses. The move follows concerns from within the Northern Territory's police union. A death or serious incident in custody was imminent at the Palmerston Watch House.
Police are investigating the deaths of 2 people at a house in Melbourne's southeast today. Police were called to a Dandenong North property where a woman was found dead. Emergency services then treated an injured man outside of the home, but he died at the scene. The ABC's veteran business editor Peter Ryan is being remembered as one of the giants of journalism. Around 200 family members, friends and colleagues have gathered to honour the 64-year-old at a funeral service in Sydney today. Peter Ryan began his career in journalism 45 years ago, starting as a copy boy for Sydney's Daily Mirror and joining the ABC in 1984. Former ABC business reporter Stephen Long worked alongside Peter Ryan and says he pursued public interest journalism relentlessly.
Deeply intelligent, brought the common touch to the reporting, but had a knowledge across everything from international affairs to business and finance. Is kind of like a Mark Colvin, one of the great giants of journalism, the like of which we may see no more.
And Brisbane's Dane Zorko has been fined $3,000 for using insulting and profane language directed at AFL match officials during the Lions' round 19 win over the Western Bulldogs. The AFL says the comments were made to officials sitting on the bench as Zorko left the field during the 4th quarter of the game. You're up to date with the latest from ABC News.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
Edwards goes right to Din, then sends it for the inside run here by Laybart. He's over the 20, beats Gutherson, and he'll score as easy as you like. The PNG Cobbles rep, Zach Laybart. Robson takes off from dummy half, and he beats DeMello over the 30, gets it to his right to the backer-upper, Tom Dearden, and the Cowboys have their second. Brilliantly set up by Reece Robson. Finished off by a 30-metre burst, or a bit less from Tom Deere. Chance here, St George Illawarra Cook. Goes right to Sua. Plays out the back of Sully. Quick hand to Tyrell Sloan. No one's going to stop him. Harrison Edwards was coming across, but he was unmarked effectively, Tyrell Sloan. He's able to score for the Dragons. Duffy, 4 metres out. Dummy half Sua. To the field left. Flanagan away to Cook. Then on to King Tonga. Puts in a stab kick. Flung through Finge. He gets there first. Clutches it to the test. Dives over to score. Dummy half Robson. Goes to his right. To Cohen. Hess got through Hamish Stewart. And then beat Leilua, wanted to steal the foot. He's over. Cohen Hess gets the try to the Cowboys. Goes right to Dearden. Dearden jinks his way straight past Cook and King Tonga. Oh, he's good. He's got support and drink water. Shuts the gate. Horse says bye-bye. Try to the Cowboys. Tom Dearden, you are something special. Crossfield kick from 28 metres out. The ball is loose. Flying through, picking the ball up. Jeremiah Nene flies through the air. He borrowed Superman's cape. Nene's over.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
Yeah, a flurry. 3 tries in 5 minutes before half-time gives North Queensland a 28-12 lead over St George Illawarra. Next, it's Brisbane and Parramatta at Link Park. Quentin Hull on the call with Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Good evening, Q.
Andrew, it is a gorgeous night for rugby league in Brisbane, with the Broncos trying to make it 6 wins in a row. 5 on the trot for the Broncos, who had all manner of questions asked of them when they dropped their last loss, which was back in round 13 to Manly Warringah, but have gone on a roll since then. And the cavalry continues to return. Payne Haas is back after resting after the Origin decider. Jesse Arthurs hasn't played since round 17 with a rib injury. He's back in the back line, and Corey Jensen returns as well on the bench, overcoming a calf injury. So no Tyson Smoothie, Ben Talty or Dean Mariner from the team that beat the Titans. That was a couple of weeks ago, Brisbane having the bye last week. So 3 changes for the Broncos from that last upstart, which was an easy win over the Titans, 26-14. While for Parramatta, confirmed Dylan Brown is not coming back tonight. He was left on the extended bench, but he has not made the cut-off with the team lists coming through. Parramatta is 1-17. So the big headline, Billy Moore, as I welcome you, Mitchell Moses back in for Parramatta tonight. Will Benson, he returns as well from suspension. Obviously, young Isaiah Yongi is out, but can the Eels snap their 3-game losing streak here with their talismanic captain and halfback back in against the rampaging Bronx? How are you?
G'day, Q. Hello to our wonderful listeners. To answer your question in the short reply, no, the Eels can't win. They are playing against a Broncos team which is flying underneath the radar, and Q, that's the thing.
How can the Broncos fly under the radar?
That's it. They don't. They are the radar, but they are flying underneath it, and that's where Maguire wants them. There's 3 sides that are hot in the comp right now that are on a roll. Panthers is one of them. The Raiders red hot leading the comp, but the Bronx are just going about their business. They haven't lost since round 13. And
when the coach was no good and should have been turfed out after half a year.
Correct. He was a dead man walking. But this team tonight, this is their best side they've got. And the rise of Xavier Willison, that's the one to watch. They've got firepower everywhere. And all of a sudden you're putting in this other ginormous, yard-getting, controlling player like Payne Haas. They will own the middle. And when you're bringing players off the bench, Hetherington and Jensen, they come on, the other side's fatigue. This is a blueprint that could bring that premiership they're talking about. I'm getting well ahead of myself, but this Broncos side is that good. Now, the Eels, they're in a rebuild, massive rebuild. Moses is a great player, but not here tonight. We're about to watch, this is the barometer, 2 weeks. If there's 2 weeks of success by the Broncos, they will be beating the war drums for them.
I'm going to ask you, if you're a Parramatta fan and you see Dean Hawkins playing alongside Mitchell Moses with Dylan Brown left out because his future lies elsewhere, what are you thinking as a Parramatta fan?
I'm pragmatic enough to say fair point, fair bump. That's the way it is. What question I've got is why hasn't he left the club? Because they've offered him to go. He doesn't want to go to Newcastle, which is interesting. I would have thought if I was Dylan Brown, I'd be going, I want to go up there and start to form a combination with Kalen Ponga. So that's a whole different story. But they're in a rebuild, and tonight I can't wait to see so many young players. It's probably the Eels side that I've seen with my least knowledge of some of their player groups. So I'm interested to see what you've got. And you've got to remember, the Eels is blue blood rugby league producing heartland. So out of their competition, the second largest in the world, that's where the heartbeat rugby league comes, along with Penrith. And I'm interested to see what it's producing with young players.
Yeah, I like what he's trying to do with that pack, which is interesting tonight. That's what I'll have a look at, the Parramatta pack, with young Riley Smith starting to settle in. Obviously, he's got talent, former Australian schoolboy and top-line cricket player as well. So he's starting to bed in. Obviously, Jack Williams and Dylan Walker, they've all done it. We know Junior and Jermaine Hopgood. But, Charlie Geimer's the young one, along with Riley Smith. And now you get Moses pulling the strings.
Yeah, and also you're seeing this is the investment they've got in.
Yeah, Talon De Silva.
He come across in the West Tigers. So there's so much to love about it. But this, to me, is a barometer game to see where underneath the radar what is bubbling for the Bronx. They should be frying up some eels tonight. Let's see what happens.
Okay, we've got Todd Smith, the referee, Ash Klein in the bunker. So repeating, both teams 1-17. Gorgeous night for Friday night footy. Look forward to bringing it to you after we enjoy the next 40 minutes in Townsville.
Yeah, Q, and by the way, Billy, just on that Dylan Brown point with Newcastle, because I felt exactly the same way as you. Let him go before June 30. Let the bloke play footy. Now, we heard while we were in Newcastle last Sunday that there were talks between Dylan Brown, Parramatta and the Knights, and the Knights simply don't have the salary cap space for this year. Otherwise, I'm sure it would have happened. So, we found that out ourselves late last Sunday, because I thought exactly like you. If you're not going to play him, let him play somewhere else. They all tried to work that out, but it couldn't happen because of the salary cap. Billy, Q, Zano, look forward to your company on the way home here as the second half about to get underway. St George Illawarra's Clint Gutherson to kick off. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12 as the kick-off is taken on the goal line for North Queensland. And it comes back to Caden Lars, and he's shoved very near the touchline. That's inexperience. Off the kick-off, you allow yourself to be pushed over the touchline. And he gets up and says words that I wouldn't repeat to probably anyone but you, Louis, off air. But it's going to be a play the ball for St George Illawarra after he just shoved all that way by Suley and Sloan and one other defender.
Well, that's two kickoffs. Right from the very first kickoff, they kicked it dead, gave the Dragons the start, and now again in the second half.
You're suggesting their starts to halves are less than ideal?
Yes.
Here's Hamish Stewart, play two for the Dragons. Tackled 8 metres out by Cotter. Now the Dragons would love to score early here. Little, they're down by 16. Inside ball finds Emre Gula. Good strong run into the defence of Lars and Hess standing in the tackle 3 metres out. Plays the ball to Little. Comes left to Flanagan. Then away to King Tongi, away to Leilua. And Luciano put down 4 metres out from the goal line. There to greet him was Laybutt and Bateman. Now played to Hamish Stewart. Wobbly old pass to the right. King Tongi to Cook. Then to Flanagan. Dummies goes himself straight into the defence. Taken 14 out. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Last tackle St George Illawarra. Little goes left to Cook. King Tongi with a crossfield kick from 18 metres out. Up they go. It's not a great kick in that it's taken by Robert Derby. He's hit up, but he's tackled only half a metre out from his own goal line. Played to Dearden. He works the ball open side left to Zach Laybutt, and he's caught inside his own 10. So a minute 40 gone second half. And it remains North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12 as Derby at first receiver. He's going to be claimed by Gula and Cook. 20 in from touch on the near side, the western side. Jeremiah Nene scored that spectacular try right on half-time. He's in centre field, caught 25 out from his own line, played to Robson, works it right to Bateman, and head on by Stewart. Leilua overseeing as well as he stands in the tackle, the Englishman, 33 out from his own line, played on the last. Comes left to Drinkwater with the clearing kick, a left footer, and it's down the throat. Gutherson nearly dropped us right down his guts. He comes away with it though, and he advances the footy 33 out from his own line. 2 minutes 20 gone second half. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12 is now Corey Allen is going to be caught here for the Dragons. Louis 11 short of halfway.
I'd like to see the Dragons play a little bit of footy coming out of their own end. There was a game that I do remember clearly down there in Wollongong Stadium where they just kept going to one edge and then shifting over to that left edge. They made so many easy metres and they're getting the ball to their quick men.
Now Flanagan goes right. Gutherson quick hands. Might have been knocked down there by the Cowboys. Put on the toe, but no, Grant Atkins blows the whistle. It was knocked on, and Braden Burns was in to shoot, but everyone knew it was a knock on. Shane Flanagan pulls out a few extra strands of hair as he watches on, pulls his teeth out, if not his whole tongue. And it's going to be a Dragon scrum feed, 9 short of halfway. 3 gone second half. Cowboys 28, St George, Illawarra 12. And around the grounds, North Sydney Oval New South Wales Cup. West 18 lead North Sydney 10. Let's head to the touchline. First time second half at Townsville Stadium. Laurie Spooner.
Yeah, Andrew, Shane Flanagan spoke mainly about defence. He's really disappointed with the man-on-man defence, the moving up in the line, and even the desperation. He reckons if he can fix that up, our attack will flow. And on the other side, Todd Payton spoke. He's really happy with the transition from defence to attack. They're throwing football around, making far less errors than they have been, and he's really happy with their defence. So all happy there.
Well, Shane Flanagan won't be happy with this. Play one, Clint Gutherson knocks on. Zach Laybutt nearly came away with it, but he knocked on. But that was really poor from Gutherson. So it'll be a Cowboys scrum feed. Remembering North Queensland leads 28-12. It was 12 all with, 5.5 minutes before half-time before the Cowboys run amok. Did. Goes left from the scrum win. And now in centre field, taking the tackle, Jeremiah in the nay, 38 metres out from the line. Cook was in there with Stewart, and Stewart playing all over him, so therefore it's a penalty to North Queensland. Quick tap taken by Robson, no, not allowed by Atkins.
Foul play, you can't go quick on foul play.
But then he's not allowed to go quick, but he goes, yeah, play on.
Sometimes though, I get that, because sometimes though you let it happen, because you think, okay, they're all back. Oh no, you can't. So just a quick flash from Grant Atkins. But I like that he recovered that quickly. It would have been embarrassing had he not, 3 seconds later.
And nearly didn't get the ball out there.
I know.
I nearly even would have took the 2.
Cowboys fine touch 18 out. Came off a Dragon's hand, but doesn't matter. They'll still have a play the ball in centre field. And the ball will be played now to Robson from Carl Lawton, who's come on the field for the Cowboys. Works it left to Cotter. Tackle 12 out from the Dragons line. Cowboys on the attack. 5 gone second half. They lead 28-12 to the right. Lawton away to Dearden. Then back on the inside. Laybutt runs right across field. Then links up via a flick pass to Drinkwater. Steps to the left and the right. And straightens into Little and Cook. 16 out for the St George Illawarra goal line. It's played now to Robson. He's spiralling passes it left away. Through hands Duffy Dearden. Back on the inside to Nay. Cut to the ground down low by Little, over the top by Stewart, 11 out. Centre of the park, play to Robson, goes left to Dearden. He got a short ball away to Ruben Cotter, great leg drive, he's over, but he's going to be held up in goal.
Off Ruben.
So it's going to go back and play it for the belief 2 tackles left in the set. Kyle Flanagan did really well to stay underneath Ruben Cotter. So Cotter goes back, plays a 10 out. Comes to the right. Tom Duffy away to Dead. Out the back to Drinkwater. Cut out ball, finds Laybutt, but it went forward again. Gee, that's a small pass. It's Cowboys. There'll be St George Illawarra scrum, 10 out from their own line. 5 minutes 45 gone second half. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12. Don't forget the text line is there for you on 0467 920 222.
Well, that was a close one. It was a forward pass, but it was called by the touch judge, so we're going to back him in. But looking at that view there that we just got, didn't look like it was forward at all. But I think it's because Drinkwater drifts backwards, and then the ball float looks like it's going forward. But anyway, they needed that the Dragons, because they're starting to get a little bit tired, and we're only early into the second half, which is not good signs.
Dragons win the scrum. Little call, 14 out from his own line. Played the Cook, goes right to Sully. Good strong run, Moses Sully. And he'll play it 30 out from his own line. Had a great game last week against Canterbury Bankstown. Played to Little. Centre field left to Gula. He just dribbles it out the back. Picked up by King Tongia. Dearden is there with Robson. I believe that ball might have been touched from Gula by the Cowboys. Doesn't matter. It's a penalty against Robson and Dearden in the tackle anyway. Penalties now 6-3 to St George Illawarra. And this one 33 out from their own line. And the Cowboy joined the tackle whilst held. On the text line 0467 920 222. Sandy says a big shout out to my brother Buff in Mudgee. Go our Dragons, great commentary. Thank you, Sandy. Here's the tap, and it's Leilua tackled 9 metres in North Queensland's half by Dearden. He plays the ball too little. Goes right to King Tongia. King Tongia turns it on the inside. Stewart's tackled 35 out from the Cowboys line by Lawton. Now played little. Goes left edge to King Tongia. Hear that grunting. That was the Bateman tackle, 22 metres out. Little dummy half. Goes right to Damien Cook. Cook straightens and he nearly got through, but dragged to the ground by Hess. 12 out from the line in front of the northern post. Play to Jacob Little. Goes from dummy half. Turns it on the inside. Stewart's close. He's half a metre away. Caught by Drinkwater. Last tackle, Little. Terrible pass. Along the ground, scooped up by Gutherson, 10 out. He runs across field and he's held. What on earth was that about? He's held Gutherson on the last, 12 out when you're down by 16. So it's going to be a changeover here to the Cowboys. 12 out from their own line. 8 gone second half. Cowboys 28, Dragons 12. Let's go to the touchline again and Laurie Spina.
Yeah, a lot of sweat coming from the players. I know it's a winter, but here it's 22 degrees. You don't get much breeze in this stadium, and the clouds around make it very humid. So that's why there's a lot of sweat on the players.
All right, Loz. Cowboys get the changeover inside their 20.
I think Gutherson was going, challenge it. You can't challenge it because he was classed as held. But I feel like he was held too. He was on the ground for a long period of time. He should have just passed it earlier.
At the end of the day, when the referee says held,
that's it.
Here's the Cowboys on their own 30. As it comes to the right edge, Cohen Hess, another good strong run. Taken ball and all by Cook, 7 short of halfway. Play to Robson, goes right to Ruben Cotter. He's going to be taken by Leilua and Stewart. 5 metres in Dragons territory. 4 tackles into the set. Robson out of dummy half, scampers himself, but he's taken by Cook over the top. Stewart down low and will play it on the last tackle. 34 out to Lord. Goes right, Dearden. Puts up the kick. Calling for it, Corey Allen. He's got a 3 out from his own line and did the right thing there. Just hit the deck immediately as through came Robert Derby and Tom Dearden. 5 out from the Dragons line. Plays it to King Tom. He sent the ball right to St George Illawarra now on their own 10-metre line. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12. Centre field here with Tyrell Sloan. Backs his way into the defence. 18 out from his own line, midway through the tackle count. Now right edge Suar, knocked to the ground by Hess and Lawton. 25 out from the Dragons line. Jacob Little. Centre field left to Michael Mollo. And Cotter's there with Bateman and one other defender, Robson. 33 out from the St George Illawarra line, but this is the last. And it's something special from Flanagan's kick from just outside the 30. And it's straight down the throat of Braden for the Cowboys. Bringing it back was Robert Derby. And he's put to the ground. I knew it went the wrong way. It's Braden Burns, 11 metres short of halfway. Someone stood up in front of me, Luke, here in the crowd. Comes away left in the boardroom to Jackson Purdue. Caught 2 short of halfway. 9 minutes 30 gone second half. And it's 28-12 to North Queensland. Now a shocking pass out of dummy half by Tom Duffy to Jeremiah Nene. But the arm was whacked at by the marker. So therefore it's a penalty to North Queensland. Their 4th of the night. 10 gone second half. Cowboys 28. St George Illawarra 12. The penalties on halfway and Dearden finds touch. 30 out from the Dragons line.
Danger signs here for the Dragons. North Queensland starting to find their mojo on attack once again. Great field position, and I'm telling you, I can feel the energy from the Dragons right from the tap there.
Yes.
They nearly go straight through. They're already gone. 11 minutes in.
Good run by Purdue. 15 metres. Plays it 15 out. Lawton to the right to Dearden. And he's collected head on. 12 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. 29 and a half to play. And now Cohen Hess charges into the defence of Stewart and Little and Gula. He'll play it 2 out between the southern sticks to Robson. Goes right to Bateman, but nailed by Michael Mollo. Half a metre out. 4 tackles gone for the Cowboys. Dummy half Robson. Out the back right to Dearden. Puts in a stab kick looking for Derby or Allen. Who gets there first? We're going to the bucket to decide. I think the Dragons did.
We tackle 5, we're going to no try, just review grounding.
Definitely comes off North Queensland's hands. There could be a knock on here too, but there's...
That's Derby against Allen.
At this point, the ball is knocked off by the Cowboys.
Yeah, I reckon Allen touched it with his hand, knocked him back, so no dramas there, and Robert Derby's knocked it on.
Yeah.
Good pick up, Louis. So it's a 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set for the Dragons, who do look in all sorts, but they're still in the game, really. 28-12 down there.
Yeah, they're still in the game. And that's not many points to chase back to get a little bit of momentum and a few things go your way. But for me, they look so tight. This is a 20-metre tap and they're all bunched up already. They've got no shape. When, like I say all the time, the Dragons are playing their best. They've got shape and they shift early. But they've got an injury here now.
Suar. He hits the ball up and he's clutching at his face. Trainer's out there now. And now he's lying on his back with his arms over his head. With 11 minutes and 4 seconds gone in the second half, North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 12. You're with Luke Lewis, Laurie Spina. I'm Andrew Moore. A couple of special guests have joined Laurie on the touchline tonight already. Jason Taumalolo and Gavin Cooper on the text line. Andrew, Canberra fans will be happy with the announcement today that Kaio is re-signed till the end of 2029. Hasn't he been great? Kaio works for Canberra. That is great news.
Awesome news.
Ray Calandra, you've been waiting for this from the Cowboys. Hope they can keep it up for the remainder of the second half. Go you Cowboys. Gary from Mission Beach says, seatbelts on, hang on, some great footy to come prior to the finals. Great call again, crew. Thank you, Gary. As Jaden Suar still down, now up on his haunches. Let's go to the touchline and Laurie Spina at Townsville Stadium.
Yeah, it looked like he hit his head backwards in the tackle. I don't think actually it's his ankle too. I've seen him holding his head, but it's actually his knee too got twisted in the tackle. He is going for that report. Was it a back slam, I think, from Nene? I don't think he swung.
There's nothing in it.
I know. Gee, I'm surprised about that.
Well, the screen says Carl Lawton on report too. I don't know what role he played, so we'll double check exactly which player's been put on report. It would make more sense if it was Jeremiah Nene. So report for a back slam. Penalty went to the Dragons, their 7th of the night. They're 45 out from the Cowboys line. Gula hits it up into Neem, caught 38 metres out from the goal line. Cowboys need something soon. Stewart, he straightens over the 30, taken by Hess, and also out there now Kai O'Donnell for North Queensland. Dragons work at left, King Tonga away to Leilua. Caught by Bateman and Dearden, 10 out for the goal line. Dummy half Little, goes over side right to King Tonga. Laid ball on the inside to Mollo. He's tackled by Bateman. And also in there was Lawton. 8 metres away, Cook. Left to Flanagan. Takes him on himself and gets whacked to the deck. 6 metres out, changeover. Again, some of these players have no idea what the tackle count is. There's your organising halfback, Louis, who at half speed takes on the defensive line when you're down by 16. Hello?
Yeah. But I reckon half of the teams now are actually happy to get tackled inside that 10 metre zone and not put in the kick. Not all of them, but majority of it. Wouldn't be surprised if that's a bit of a plan.
So Carl Lawton is the player, in fact, on report for a hip drop. That's the official word for the NRL at this point.
That was on the hip drop.
Cowboys have it. 32 out from the ground line. Robson goes left away to O'Donnell. He's knocked to the deck by Suo. Looks in a bad way out there. He might have to come off. 8 short of halfway. Did. He puts boot to ball, finds the grass in the southwest corner. Going back for it, Gutherson. He learned from the first half. He retrieves this midway between the goal line and the dead ball line and therefore gets back into the field of play where he's tackled by Laybutter. 8 out from his own line. Played to Allen. Goes right to the other wing at Tyrell Sloan. And he's knocked to the deck. 7 out from his own line, centre field. Plays the ball to Flanagan. Comes left edge to Allen. He's scored 11 out from his own line. That's already 3 plays into the set. Suar has come from the field and he's limped into the change room. So we'll get more from Laurie shortly with 26 and a half minutes still to play. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. 28-12 Cowboys lead Dragons. David Clemmer. He's caught on his own 30-metre line. Bring up the last tackle and line all over the play the ball is John Bateman. He just refused to move, Bateman. Terrible bit of discipline. And a penalty goes to St George Illawarra. What is the referee supposed to do there?
Well, penalty.
In that case, he did a good job.
Yeah, but Bateman, was playing silly buggers there. And just laying around the ruck. Look, if he had just got up and got out of the ruck as normal, they would have said play on.
Well, it looked like he was trying to get out of the ruck.
Yeah, but he was just laying around the ball. It was silly.
And it was the last tackle coming up. Anyway, tap taken and it's Luciano Leilua. Put to the ground 13 metres in Cowboys territory. North Queensland 28 and George Illawarra 12. 14 scoreless minutes in the second half. King Tonga hands it off on the inside to Emre Gula. He's knocked to the deck by Griffin Neem. 33 out centre field. Cook goes left. King Tonga to Gutherson. Then away to Matt Fiinga. Wrapped up down low by Laybutt. Over the top by Dearden. 19 metres out. Now Little fires it away right. King Tonga. Centre of the park to Stewart. Hamish Stewart taken by O'Donnell and also Neem. About 17 out from the goal line. 2 tackles left for the red and the white. Schooler a pass goes along the deck. Scooped up now by Moses Suley at right centre.
Don't go there.
And it's a penalty. Going to St George Illawarra.
Time off.
Which is ruling here, Grant Atkins. It's definitely a penalty to the Dragons.
He's in front of you.
There's something to do with Kyle Flanagan getting taken out, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, Case.
Second in the bin.
There's going to be a binning here. We could hear Grant Atkins just conversing with...
On report, who is it?
Oh, no, maybe he was asking, is it turn in the bin?
Okay, but it is another play on report. So, Jeremiah Nanae adds the list, the third that we're aware of on report for the Cowboys, is now the Dragons 10 out. Flanagan turns it on the inside. Stewart caught 5 metres out from the goal line. Play the ball to Little, goes right to King Tonga, then away to Flanagan, away to Molo. You get the sense he's tackled 5 out. This set is huge. If the Cowboys can hold on, although they've given away another set restart, the first of the second half, but on the back of these penalties, it's Clemmer centre field, standing in the tackle 8 out. If the Cowboys can hold on, you'd think that'll give them a huge adrenaline rush and confidence. Flanagan goes left. King Tonga, lovely ball away to Corey Allen, and he'll score untouched. So all of a sudden the game goes back in the balance through a complete lack of Cowboys discipline. 15 minutes 40 gone, second half. The try scored by Corey Allen for St George Illawarra. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 16, and Luke Lewis came back on.
Yeah, definitely game back on, but it's just because North Queensland Cowboys are just their discipline at the moment has been absolutely horrible. Set restarts, penalties. It's 8 penalties to 4, 9 penalties to 4 now. They give them a lot of possession, a lot of opportunities to ask a heap of questions, and then like in King Tommy, it comes up with a beautiful little pass. He had a couple of options. He could have ran, could have played short, could have played at the back, and then went out in front of all of them, and then find Corey Allen unmarked. So really nice play there by the Dragons. Back in the game to get this kick, and it's only 12 points down, and they've got the momentum now with them.
There's 12 points now, 28-16. Kick to come to the touchline we go. Laurie Spina.
Yeah, Andrew Louis right, giving penalties away, 6 against, and late in the tackle count, done by the Cowboys. King Tonga continues to impress. Beautiful pass there, picked out his winger, who's got a really bad shiner on his eye. That's why he went for a HIA before, but yeah, he's looking all right.
Yeah, Corey Allen, he does. He's got a nasty shiner there. And now Flanagan lining up the kick. Still 23 minutes to go. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 16. He's 23 metres out, 12 metres in from the western touchline, Flanagan. He kicked 2 from 2 in the first half. Update scores around the grounds after the kick. Here's Flanagan to get them within 2 converted tries. Moves in with the right boot, starts out to the right, hits the upright, no goal. That's a big miss. They're still within range zone. 2 converted tries the difference. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 16. Friday night footy on ABC Sport with 22 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Around the grounds in the New South Wales Cup, the Bears are fighting back. Western Suburbs 22 leading North Sydney 18 late in the second half. And in the AFL first quarter, Western Bulldogs 13, Essendon 0. And the Bulldogs playing for a spot in the top 8, becoming 9th at the moment. Brisbane and Parramatta up next. No changes at Lang Park. Tyson Smoo, the 18th man for Brisbane. Jordan Samrani, 18th for Parramatta. Referee Todd Smith with Ash Klein in the bunker. Kickoff taken by King Tonga on the goal line. Gives it right to David Clemmer, and he scored 13 out from his own line.
How many tries have you got left in this next 20 minutes? I was going to say 5 as well.
Okay, Little goes right to Leilua. But who scores the majority of them? That's going to prove the difference. Still 22 and a half to go. Little sends it right to Hamish Stewart. He's been active since coming off the bench. Tackle just inside his 30. Midway through the tackle count, Little sets sail. All look to pass off the ground, but accepts the tackle of Robson, 11 short of halfway, and lost the ball, Jacob Little. And they're going to challenge at St George Illawarra.
Case red tack to 4. I've ruled lost. Dragons challenge.
This would be a dumb rake. If you're raking it now, you can't be that silly. You're never going to get away with it.
Look at the right arm of Reece Robson here. He strips the ball out after the tackle is complete.
Unbelievable.
Captain challenge is successful.
Unbelievable, as in unable to be believed. What, the Cowboys team just self-implodes, Louis.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be Cowboys fans saying the ref this, the ref. Got nothing to do with the ref. This team doesn't have any discipline.
They've only got to get through 2 more minutes, North Queensland. Then the momentum will switch.
Okay.
Exactly what happened in the first half.
Okay. So you're telling Cowboys fans don't panic. Well, at least we've got to see what happens this set. Dragons take the tap. They're 25 metres out from the North Queensland line. 28-16. Cowboys lead, little dummy half. Goes left to Flanagan, turns it into Emre Gula, who's going to be held 21 metres out. Robson was in there with Edwards, and then they actually gave him a push further into the 20. Plays the ball too little. Dummy's on the inside, goes on the outside to the set of Feing. I know it's lost by King Tong here. Back to Feing. Play on, says the referee. Feing straightens into Edwards, and he's tackled 8 metres out. 3 tackles left, St George Illawarra. Wouldn't it be huge if they scored here? Stewart goes right, Flanagan. Gutterson, quick hands, Tyrell Sloan for the corner, he's over! Well, the Dragons scored 2 tries in a jiffy. 28-20, Cowboys lead the Dragons. The Cowboys just get the pistol out and go bang into their foot, bang into their foot, bang into their foot, and the Dragons say thank you, we'll pick up the casings and score. Sloan does it, 21 left, North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 20, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, they get the skill and execution right over on this right edge of the Dragons. Really nice skill. Played early, get the ball out in front. I think Gutherson gets a really good opportunity to get 2 hands on this pass and then quickly just tip it on and find Sloan in some open space. And that's why you've got Sloan there. He's got speed, he can score tries, and every time he's got a bit of open space, he's very, very hard to stop. So nice try there for the Dragons, great skill, and they're right back in this game now. But North Queensland, they've got to use this 20-minute mark where they got the momentum back in the first half to their advantage and try and wrestle it back sooner rather than later. But there's going to be a lot more twists and turns.
Tyrell Sloan's only 2 behind the hammer and leading try scorer this year now. 15 touchline we go. Laurie Spooner.
Yeah, I think Sloan's found his position on the wing there, but Clint Gutherson, what beautiful hands, so quick to shift out to him. Nice try, Dragons, but the Cowboys, are they dumb or what? What are they doing?
Well, I've got a question for you after this kick from Flanagan, Laurie. I want you to put your captain's hat on from 1995. Here's Flanagan to get within 6. It's a tough one. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, second half. 28-20 Cowboys. He's 23 out. He's a metre in from the eastern touchline. Kyle Flanagan, who's kicked 2 from 3. The big right first step. In he comes, Flanagan with the right boot. It's hooking across the face. No goal. 5 tries to 4 Cowboys. 28-20 to the Cowboys. 2 out of 4 for Flanagan. Laurie, you're captain of this team. They played so great at stages in the first half, but now when they capitulate, they do it in such a big way. What are you saying to the team in the in-goal area after that try?
No beep errors, please. For the next 5 minutes, just nothing dumb. Just go up and defend hard and just keep them close to their own try line, but no dumb errors, please.
Here's the restart. Well, you said it very politely, Loz, as is true Laurie Spooner fashion. Taken by King Tonga, goes right to Clemmer, turns his shoulder into the defence of Edwards and Bateman. 16 out for the Dragons line. 28-20, 19 left. Now Leilua caught 22 out from his own goal line. Well, we've got more excitement anyway, Louis, which we seem to get in every game. Flanagan goes right to Sully, half-broken tackle, gets up to go again, and now wrapped up 29 out from his own line. Purdue came in for the tackle. Can they get Jackson Purdue the ball at all? As now the Dragons, 12 short of halfway. Michael Mollo plays it to Little. Cut-out pass goes left to Stewart, then away King Tonga. Cut-out ball onto Feing, Gee, he was straight past one. Now he's going to be caught a metre into Cowboys territory by Laybutt and Derby. Last tackle, Dragons. Gutherson dummy half. Spiralling ball right to King Tonga. Puts up the right foot kick down for Drinkwater. 18 out from his own line. Heads to the 20. Burrows into Clemmer and Little. 24 out from the Cowboys line. On the text line 0467 920 022. Wingman said Cowboys are too good up there. Well, are they? They have been. As they go over there 30 through Jackson Purdue. And he's wrapped up 15 short of halfway. Reuben Cotter back on the field for the Cowboys. Played to Robson. Goes right to Drinkwater. He's going to be called 5 short of halfway. You mentioned earlier, Cowboys have just got to be patient for 2 minutes. Well, they didn't last the 2 minutes. Dragons score. What's your minute tally now? Is Griffin Neem, good strong run. Gets 10 metres in Dragons territory.
No, that was right, because they scored the try just before the 20-minute mark. So now they've got to build the game from the 20. They'll get a little bit of penalty or something here, and the momentum will shift.
No, play on did, was tackled, but the tackle from Gula deemed okay. Just kind of escorted him to the deck. And the Dragons have it 11 out from their own line as Gutherson plays the ball to King Kong here. Goes left to Corey Allen, and he's going to be caught 13 out from his own line. Yeah, that tackle looked all right. Ball played to Little. Short side left to Matt Finger. Put on his back, still inside his 20. 17 minutes, 15 to go. 28-20 to North Queensland. Little goes right to Leilua. And across field, now Edwards is there with the Nay and Cotter to make the tackle. 25 out from the Dragons line. Little comes left to Gutherson over the 30. Caught mid-quarter halfway, St George Illawarra territory, and brings up the last. Little goes left to King Tongia from inside the 40. Puts boot to ball. Taken on the full by Drinkwater in his own 20. Then for some reason throws a 20-odd metre pass away to his left to Braden Burns, who's caught on the 30 by Mollo. Then plays it quickly. There's Jackson Purdue. Marches over the...
Well, that was lazy.
He marched over the 40 and just dropped the ball cold. And David Clemmer is just saying, let's, to quote Laurie, beep and go. Firing up the Dragons after a horrible mistake from Jackson Purdue. I mean, this team is just collapsing before our eyes, Luke Lewis.
Well, Jackson Purdue comes up with a great run. I just don't understand why he stops. He literally stops in the track and they get tackled from behind from Clemmer.
I think the Nay had run in front of him, so he was unsure whether to just stop dead or keep going. But they're getting in their own road. Dragon scrum feed, 41 out. 28-20. That's the good news for you Cowboys fans. They still lead. Now an inside ball from the scrum win to Finger. He's taken by Bateman and Cotter. He'll play the ball to Little. 34 out for the North Queensland line. Comes centre field right to Gula. He's tackled by Bateman and Neem. Plays it quickly to Jacob Little. 25 out. Goes right to Stewart, away to Flanagan. Then back on the inside to Mollo, where he's taken by Edwards and Robson. 15 out from the Cowboys line. 3 tackles left, St George Illawarra. To the left, Stewart dummied inside, but takes the tackle of Neiman. Cotter 5 out. Plays the ball quickly. Little from dummy half. Dives over to score. Look out. Look out. It's comeback city. 28-24. Cowboys lead the Dragons. Try to Jacob Little, and there's still over 15 minutes to go, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, nice work here by Jacob Little. He sniffs out that the really good carry, but the markers couldn't get back up and back on side. He just picks it up one-handed and uses his speed, gets down low and dives over, scores a great try. Then the King comes up behind and gets on one knee. And then Jacob Little pulls out the crown and puts it on his head for the try celebration. So, yeah, that was an interesting one. Nice try, though.
Oh, what a royal summation. Let's go to the touchline. Laurie Spooner.
Yeah, he's so dangerous close to the line like that, Little, especially if a player's going back. He runs that way and he's so powerful when he gets low. But there you go again, Cowboys error, and Dragons make them pay. Tell you what, the Dragons are coming back and the Cowboys are in trouble, I reckon.
Mate, what are you saying to them now in the dressing room, in the in-goal area, Loz?
Use a few more expletives, Andrew.
Well, you begged them last time. Here's Flanagan, 12 out. Just to the left of the post to get them to within 2. With the right boot, he kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 5. It's North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 26. 5 tries all. And Louis, these are the games the Dragons lose.
Yeah.
They've lost 5 by 4 points or less.
Well, Bulldogs got them, 2 minutes to go last week.
Yep.
I reckon it could happen again.
Well, they're the ones trying to do the getting, aren't they? This time around the ground, second half in the New South Wales Cup. Western Suburbs 24, leading North Sydney 22. AFL, Western Bulldogs 34, leading Essendon 1. It's just me, does so many games start that way this year in the AFL, where the team blows out by 5 or 6 goals early. Here's the restart. Still 14 minutes to go. That will seem, if you're a Cowboys fan, I understand, like an absolute age. So now the kickoff is returned, and DeBellin back on the field has scored 11 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Little, goes right. Tulay Lua caught 15 out. Cotter was there with Neem. And remember, that all came from just a lazy drop ball from Jackson Purdue on that occasion. I take most of the blame, having called for him to get the footy. As now it's Hamish Stewart with an offload to Little on his own 30. Little takes off, turns his back on the defence, but Dearden finishes him off. 14 short of halfway. He'll play at 18 in from the western touchline with 2 tackles left. Comes right to Bellin, steps into the defence of Neem, Edwards and Cotter. Last tackle 6 short of halfway, St George Illawarra. As it comes to the right to Flanagan. Flanagan runs past Edwards. There's no one challenging him. So he gets to halfway and just punts it straight down the throat of Braden Burns. 15 out from his own line. Flanagan with the chase. Also in there was Clemmer and 2 others. And North Queensland gets the footy 22 out from their own line. 13 left. Cowboys 28, Dragons 26. And now it's Derby caught on his own 30. On a scale of 1 to a million, Louis, how vital is it that the Cowboys get to their kick here?
Well, they need to get to a kick. They can't afford to come up with an error here. But they need even a penalty. They get a penalty, they get really good field position. But so important they get to their kicks.
So what was your answer?
Oh, it's a million.
Here's Edwards in centre field. Taking 5 metres in Dragons territory. They've got through 4 players. Robson goes centre field left to Ruben Cotter. Left foot step into the defence of Stewart and de Bellin. And he stands in the tackle. 33 out from the line. Last play North Queensland. Robson goes left to Drinkwater. The kick from 32 metres out. Down to the right wing. Tyrell Sloan the catch. Nene the tackle. And I was worried after Sloan hit the deck. Nene was going to force him in goal, but he didn't. So it's played half a metre out from the Dragons goal line. Goes left to Sully. He'll play it 8 out from his own line. 2 the difference. North Queensland 28, Dragons 26. After the Cowboys have led 28-12, Dragons scored 3 tries in 9 minutes to get to within 2. Michael Mollo. He's scored now by Edwards. 25 out from his own line. Played the Little. Short ball right to Bellin over the 30. Wrapped up by Robson and Purdue. 34 out from the Dragons line. Last tackle for St George Illawarra. Comes right to Flanagan from inside the 40. Drills a line drive kick that bounces for Drinkwater. 10 out from his own goal line at the northern end. Heads up over the 20 towards the 30. Straightens into the defence of Little and Clemmer. And he'll play 29 out from his own line with 11 and a half left. North Queensland 28, St George Illawarra 26. They work it right now to Robert Derby. And the tackle comes through Leilua and Hamish Stewart, 12 short of halfway. And he's told to go back and play the ball. So he does so now to Dearden. Comes away centre field. Cohen Hess got through one. Put to the ground. Just short of halfway. Robson takes off from dummy half. Dummy's left goes himself. Good run. He's finally tackled 38 metres out for the St George Illawarra line. 2 tackles to go, Cowboys. Drinkwater to the left. Duffy turns it in Neem. Caught 27 away. Last play North Queensland. Dummy half Robson. Goes left to Duffy with the kick. It's shallow. Gutterson, great catch. 10 out from his own line. Taken by Purdue and Nene. And he'll play at 10 in from the eastern touchline with 10 and a half to go.
Well, they've got to keep completing their sets here, the Dragons. They just can't afford to come up with an error here and give up possession. But they're doing a really good job getting out of their own end. They come up with nice kicks and their kick chase has been brilliant. So they've got to keep that pressure on the Cowboys.
So now it is Feing, 17 out from his own line. It comes right to Corey Allen. Knocked down high by Cotter, down low by Dearden. 25 out from the St George Illawarra line. Cook goes right to Bellin. He's scored there by Robson and Cotter. Last tackle Dragons, 35 out from their own line. The kick comes from Flanagan. Across his body down to the northwest corner. It bounces and Robert Derby intercepts it ahead of Drinkwater. 10 out from his own line, heads over the 20. Into the defence, 30 out from his own line for North Queensland with 10 minutes to play. Laurie Spooner on the touchline. Are we seeing the Cowboys settle down again now?
Well, they've held the ball a little bit. The 5th tackle option, Andrew, I don't know why they put just a little kick up. They need to put a higher bomb up so players can get down to it.
Makes sense. Cowboys right on halfway. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Cowboys down with Cohen Hess. Good strong run over the 40. Knocked to the ground, 38 out. 4 tackles done for the home team as Robson loses the ball. Play on, says the referee. It's picked up by Bateman. Got straight past Leilua. Now dragged down 22 out by Bellin. Played on the last to Robson. Comes right to Dearden. Dearden to the 10. Dummies. Goes himself. Oh, he's brilliant. Build him a statue already. There's got to be a prince with his name on it. Tom Dearden's over to the score. 9 minutes left. Cowboys 32, Dragons 26. You don't have to beat Todd Payton, Louis. You don't have to be a genius to know that when your team's in trouble, give it to that little blonde bloke, Tom Dearden.
Yeah, great work, Tommy Dearden. He looks in, he has plenty of room to play in, throws a little bit of a dummy, throws a dummy on the outside. Again, just slides straight through. I have no idea what Liking King Tongy is doing here in defence. Tommy Dearden's coming at him, he's backpedaling, and the rest of your defensive line's going straight, which creates, again, the massive space for Tom Dearden. And it's a silly defensive display, but great work there from Tommy Dearden. Great awareness, speed, everything. He's got everything, Tommy Dearden. He's been outstanding tonight.
Let's go to the touchline, Laurie Spooner. Cometh the hour, you know how it goes.
Unbelievable. You're right, Andrew. Put a statue right near Jonathan Thurston for this year for the Cowboys. I tell you what, Louis right. I don't know why he hung off him. He mustn't know the speed of Tom Dearden. He just stood back and he just went straight past him in front. But what a player he is. He leads from defence and attack. Just give him the ball and score. Gee, I tell you what, this kid is unbelievable.
Here's Drinkwater. Huge kick. 6 the difference. 8 minutes left. 20 out. 2 in from touch. Drinkwater with the left boot. Starts wide. Ends wide. Nowhere near it. No goal. Drinkwater 4 from 6. And it is 32-26. North Queensland leads St George Illawarra. All right, Louis, I'm going to ask you another question. Percentage from 0 to a million. What percentage this goes to extra time?
I'm going to go 800.
800 or 800,000?
Oh, 800,000, sorry.
Okay.
Million.
Yeah, it's got that feel to it.
It has right from the start.
Yep. On the text line 0467 920 222. Daniel Turbo equal Brett Morris was 176 tries. I think last night he almost scored a third with a similar move. The veteran had a hero night to his Froggy. Yeah, no, 177 now. And he continues to move up the list. I think 3 behind Steve Menzies now. 5th all time. From the kickoff, it's Cohen Hess up over the 10.
He's been massive.
He's been great, hasn't he? 15 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Robson. Takes off from dummy, half himself into Flanagan, just short of the Cowboys 30. 7 minutes 20 to go. 32 points to 26 to North Queensland as Braden Burns straight and slammed to the ground. 10 metres short of halfway by DeBellin. Played to Robson. Comes right to Ruben Cotter. Cotter marches there into the defence, 2 metres in Dragons territory. You did say high-scoring game, Louis, 50 points plus. Well, I'm no mathematician, but I think we're just shy of 60. 34 out. Oh, no. Penalty given away by Jacob Little. He gave Griffin Neem a push right in front of the post. 34 out.
2 points.
With 6 minutes 50 to go. That would take them to 8. Shane Flanagan might be digging a hole in that coach's box. So he just got a... Jacob Little wouldn't get square on, kept his hands on Griffin Neem, and the penalty goes to the Cowboys, their 5th of the night. In goal-kicking range for Drinkwater.
You look at all their faces. Little gets up, he knew straight away he did the wrong thing before the penalty was even blown. And you look at Damien Cook and he just closes his eyes, it's like, we've done it again to ourselves. Then it pans up to the coach's box and he's got his hands on his head.
Well, he's got a hat on too, Flano. How tightly is that pulled over his scalp?
Oh, mate, who would want to be a coach after watching this? And especially the way that the Dragons have been losing over the last few weeks.
So now Drinkwater to put the Cowboys up by 8. Their biggest lead has been 16. Drinkwater 4 from 6. Left boot strikes it from 35 out. He likes it. He's kicked the goal. 5 out of 7 for Drinkwater. North Queensland 34. St George Illawarra 26. 6 tries to 5. 5 and a half to go. Brisbane v Parramatta comes up next. That kicks off in 12 minutes. So this is a long game. Get your 3-2-1s ready in about 3 or 4 from now, Louis. I know the game's still in the balance. We check in on the touchline with Laurie Spooner.
Yeah, the Cowboys were doing some dumb things, but yeah, that one there of the Dragons, not very smart. They're still not, it's still 5:20 to go. They probably put a short kick now and try and get that footy back.
Around the grounds of the AFL, Western Bulldogs 41 leading Essendon 8. Full-time New South Wales Cup, Western Suburbs have beaten the North Sydney Bears at North Sydney Oval 24-22. As a break was made from the kick-off. It comes left now, Burns away to Purdue. Too quick for Gutherson. Over the 20, the 10. Sia. Try to Jackson Purdue. And now with 4 minutes 55 to go. North Queensland 38, leading St George Illawarra 26. They are going to win at the Cowboys. They gave you North Queensland fans a fright. That was set up by Robert Derby, taking the short kick off, linked with his co-winger Braden Burns, and then Jackson Purdue sprinted 50 to score Luke Lewis.
Yeah, good work there from the North Queensland. They went for the short line drop out, the Dragons. Really nice take, but then just the counter-attack straight off that catch. They shifted over that left edge. I tell you what, I wasn't too sure just how quick Jackson Purdue was. And then when he got into that open space, no one come close to him. Even Sloane couldn't make any metres on him. Great try.
Quicker than Gutho.
Yeah, he made Gutho look like he was running on a treadmill, but good work there from the North Queensland Cowboys. The momentum shifted, all from Tommy Dearden, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang.
Laurie, this is so Cowboys. They were nowhere 4 minutes ago. Now they're going to score 40 and win comfortably.
We've seen this a lot, haven't we, this year, Andrew? We've got to say there's a lot of young fellas like Derby. Sometimes he has unhappy nights, but he's had a pretty sound night tonight, catching that football high. And there, he's got some speed, I tell you. It's young Jackson Purdue. I'd love to see Louis, those big legs, run against him in 100 metres. He's pretty quick, I'll tell you what.
I got him, I reckon.
I reckon you don't have him in speed, but the velocity, just that boom, boom, boom of your heavy legs might scare Purdue into the grandstand. Kick was unsuccessful from out wide by Drinkwater, and it's 38-26 to North Queensland. So still, 12 the difference, 2 converted tries with 4 minutes 18. They're going to try the short kick-off again. They need to get it back, they need to score.
They're going long.
What?
They're going long.
No.
Long and right.
What's the point of that? And you're a genius. Look, I'm going to get there. If I could get up again, I'd get down on my hands and knees. Why? Here's Cohen Hess with a return 15 out from his own line.
Yeah, I think they've given up. Obviously, no, let's just go long. Get through the set now. And they get a, not gone.
Oh no. Lars has knocked the ball on, hitting the ball up. Caden Lars, we're going to have a challenge, but I sense this is for the sake of
challenge from the Cowboys. Got a one-on-one strip backwards from Damien Cook, but then Caden Lars knocks it off.
Yeah, I think he gets it right there, Green Atkins. That's exactly how I saw it as well.
And is that why your theory was kick it off long and to the
I think they would have had a plan. Let's just go long and we'll get down there, get one in and try and rip it out, or try and get a tackle and get a one-on-one steal.
So we get our first look at the replay. Damien Cook.
There's only one in the tackle, as it's the Cowboys player holding on to David Clemmer. Damien Cook strips the ball out. We're just playing on at this stage to see what then happens.
And then,
I'm assuming by Lars' response.
Lars knocks it on.
Just looking to see the direction of Damien Cook's strip, and then if the ball is knocked on the ground by Caden Lars.
It looked like it had to go backwards from Cook. And it did. Then off the knee, and then Lars knocks on.
Damien Cook strips the ball backwards one-on-one, and then it's knocked on by Caden Lars on the ground. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
He got it 100% right. So Cowboys challenge gone.
Dragons, no more challenges.
Mind you, there's only 3 minutes 51 to go. But it gives the Dragons a chance here with a scrum feed 30 out from the Cowboys line. If they can score in their set, Luke Lewis,
it's not going to happen.
Hippie shakes time.
I dare say he gave us a finger.
No. I stuffed that up last week. That's my one for the year. I hope. Here's Flanagan. It's now time back on now as Flanagan feeds the scrum, and John Denver's in the house. Comes to the right to Moses Sully. He's going to be taken by Duffy, Nene and Purdue. 24 metres out from the Cowboys line. 12 in from the eastern touchline. Played a little. Sends a left 2 to Bellin. He got a pass in the tackle. Wait a little. Accelerates to the 10. Turns it inside to Damien Cook. What a right foot step. But Neem is there with Robson and Bateman, and he stands in the tackle. 2 out in front of the right upright. Little. Spiralling ball goes left. Flanagan. Dummies goes himself. Beats Hess. Then gets through Neem. Into Robson. Hess and Bateman 2 metres out. Plays the ball to Little. Comes to the right to the Bellin. Quick hands out the back to King Tonga. Show and go. Beat 1 tackle. Nailed by an A. 5 out. 2 tackles to go. Cook. Gutherson runs around in circles. Then offloads to Flanagan right to left. Play Lua. Luciano looking for an offload. And up and under there back to Cook. Gutherson. One-hander back to the left. Flanagan. Touched in flight. Corey Allen's got it. His head's over the goal line, but the footy ain't. He'll float on the last 2 minutes 47 to go. 12-point the lead for the Cowboys. Dragons must score here. Flanagan goes right to Clemmer, and it's a set restart as well. That ball out the back now to Little. Little sprints past Neem. He's over between the sticks. They do score in that set, Luke Lewis. It's right in front of them. It's going to be 6 points the difference with still 2.5 to go.
It's unbelievable. I love our game.
How good is that?
It's so good. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. They get this kick. They've only got one more try. They've got to try and get across the line. It's going to be hard, but the offloads here from the Dragons, just keeping the ball alive. And then as soon as Jacob Little gets it, he's got so quick. He runs straight to the post. As soon as he sees a little bit of a gap, he just dives straight into it and gets a great try there. And here goes Kyle Flanagan right in front, and I reckon game back on.
12 metres out, 2.5 left. Flanagan kicks the goal. Just drilled it. It wasn't all that convincing. It doesn't matter. Flags are up, and he's 6 from... No, he's not. He is 4 from 6.
That was the ugliest kick I've seen.
38-32. No, real ugly would have been missing him from in front. We've seen those. Let's go to the touchline. Laurie Spina.
Was Jeremiah Nene waiting on the try line there? You knew he was going to dive in for the try. Just throw your body on it. But yeah, this Dragon side not giving up. What an entertaining game. Just unbelievable.
Is that 5 tries or 4 tries?
To who?
From the 20-minute mark.
We have seen tries. We've seen 3 of them so far. Dearden 71st, Purdue 75th, Little 78th.
There was another one as well. Jack Little scored 2.
Yeah, he scored his first in the 65th. Oh, yeah, 65th. 4 tries in the 20 minutes. I can't remember why we're excited about that. Here's the kick-off. Goes down to the southern end. 38-32 Cowboys. Dragons with it. Clemmer got straight through Hess into Neem, and he'll play it 11 out from his own line. Kick-off in Brisbane has been delayed by 2 minutes to 8:02. Pass along the ground by Gutherson. Finge couldn't dive on it, but Corey Allen does, and he's back slammed by Dearden, 19 out from his own goal line. After the game, we'll get Louis 3-2-1s. Laurie might record an interview or two from ground level for Q to play in the post-game show, because we'll be getting to Lang Park pretty much as soon as this is over. Flanagan goes right to Gutherson. Then away Moses Sully. Oh, he had to pass right, but he can't. Lost the ball. Did Purdue knock the ball on? It's going to be, with 1 minute 37 to go, a scrum to pack, a Dragon scrum feed, time off, 91 seconds left. It was touched by the Cowies.
I'll tell you what, it would have been nice if Sully could have flicked that pass out the slime with a running race down the sideline. That would have been brilliant, but it's a good call. It just gets ripped out. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he does actually.
I think it did touch Burns at least, and it was dived on forward. So not a penalty, but it was touched, I reckon, by Burns.
Oh, here we
You're
go.
not convinced, are you?
I'm not, but it doesn't matter. It keeps
it on the tip of it. 12 short of halfway. Scrum fed and 1. Little goes to the left of Flanagan. Then away King Tongia to Luciano Leilua. He gets pranced as he's tackled 9 short of halfway. He'll play the ball now western side to King Tongia. Goes right to Bellin. Got straight through Neem into Dearden and Baben. Good run. He's a metre or 2 into Cowboys territory. 4 tackles left for the Dragons to go 48. Little to the left. King Tongia accelerates, dragged to the ground by Lars, 32 out. Little takes off from dummy half. Goes left to right. Links up with Flanagan to Gutherson. A shocking come-out pass. Sloan got a hand to it. Picks it up. And is he going to be flung over the touchline? Loses it backwards for Sully. It's all play on with 52 seconds to go, and Sully will play at 29 out. 2 tackles left Dragons. Gutherson goes left to Flanagan. Floats the ball King Tongia. King Tongia beats 1. Now darts to the left. Got a ball away to Finge over the 20. Finge tackled 10 out. Last tackle Dragons. 35 seconds left. Gutherson from dummy half. Oh, a crossfield kick. There's no one there. And it's tapped over the dead ball line by Braden Burns. So it politely asks this question of Clint Gutherson. What are you doing, King?
That was dumb.
Goodness.
No, what? You can't challenge.
Oh, he went out anyway.
Can you imagine?
What are you challenging?
Tyrell's thrown foot one out. Damien Cook saying we're challenging.
No, he's got the early part here. I don't think they're back challenging.
With 9 seconds left.
He wants a challenge, but he's saying no.
Well,
You're not challenging 10 metres.
What?
You're not allowed to challenge 10 metres. So it's a line dropout, Cowboys. 15, 14, 13 seconds to go. 11, 10, 9, 8. They're just going to see the clock out, or do they have to get it underway? This is where a referee, to me, has got to take control. Well, what an embarrassing end to a game. Well, I know you've got a certain amount of time to do a line dropout, but with a game in the balance of 25 seconds left, take the damn kick. If the Cowboys, I get it. Take as long as you like, not blaming them. But let's keep the game moving. Anyway, Cowboys win 38-32. An incredible game for the Cowboys. Tries to Zach Labour, Tom did, Cohen Hare, Scott Drinkwater, Jeremiah Nene, and in the second half did, the second try, and Jackson Purdue. Scott Drinkwater, 5 goals from 8 attempts. Cohen Hare, Carl Lawton, and Jeremiah Nene all in report. Dragons tries to Tyrell Sloan and Matt Feanger in the first half. In second half to Corey Allen, Sloan's second try. Jacob Little then scored 2 back-to-back, and Flanagan 4 from 6. David Clemmer on report. 28-12 half-time. Cowboys 38 beat the Dragons 32. Quickly, Luke Lewis, very quickly, your 3-2-1 ABC Player of the Year.
Yeah, King of North Queensland, Tom Dearden's 3. Cohen Hess I gave 2. I thought he was brilliant through the middle of the field. And I went Jacob Little for 1 for the Dragons. Thought he was great.
Yeah, almost changed the game. Louis, catch you tomorrow from 2 at Western Sydney Stadium. Thank you to Laurie Spina. 38-32 to the Cowboys. Let's head straight to Lang Park in Brisbane. Quentin Hull.
Good on you, Andrew. A quick handover, and the Eels are out. The Broncos are making their way onto the field as well. No changes to the selected teams here, but there's a big watch on Payne Haas at the start of this game. It will start up by going down to Zane Bojak because there was a murmur of concern that ran around the cauldron at the end of the warm-up. Zane, welcome.
Yes, Huey. He limped off and went up the race. He had to get a massage. He's feeling it down his leg. We know he's had that problem with that sciatic nerve. He felt a shudder, was a bit worried, but the Broncos staff have assured me he's going to be right to play, and he's out there now.
So that certainly had everyone turning their heads. Billy Moore, welcome to you. Ready for Friday night footy game 2?
Oh, it's going to be a ripper. The Bronx up against the Eels. It's going to be a good crowd, big game.
Reece Walsh with the kick-off. Junior Bowler's going to take the first carry into the line, and the Eels are going to be running to the Caxton Street end in the first half. They're playing in their away strip goal with Mitchell Moses back to lead the band tonight, trying to break a 3-game losing streak, while the Broncos are on a 5-game winning run. Strong tackle made by Piakura on the 20. On the run there from Jermaine Hopgood. Now out in the right edge. Charlie Guymer's got hit hard. 20 from touch. He's on the 30. It's a gorgeous night for footy, and we'll get through these two teams for you in just a moment. But headlines, of course, Moses back. Haas back from being rested at the end of the Origin series. Mitch Moses with the kick from inside his 40. Just downfield. Walsh takes it. Defensive left corner on his own 10. Skips just beyond the 20. So the Broncos now have their first set. Walsh at fullback, Karapani and Arthurs on the wings. Staggs and Shibasaki in the centres, Mam and Reynolds in the halves. Willison and Haas up front, Ben Hunt the hooker, Piakura and Ricky the second row, and Carrigan the lock forward as Brisbane through Shibasaki get to the 30 in their first set of the game. The bench is Walters, Hetherington, Jensen and Gajewski. So close enough to the full strength selection that Michael Maguire has at his disposal, as Haas is a dozen from halfway taken late in the set. Carrigan with a little offload to Ricky. Nice tackle though right on halfway by Russell. Puts him down. End of the set from the NRL logo. Reynolds with the bomb downfield. It's caught by Papali. The fullback gets past Staggs. He gets past the second and third chaser before eventually being stopped about 8 metres from halfway. Great run from Joash Papali. So he's at fullback. Lomax and Addo Carr on the wings. Bensony and Russell in the centres. Hawkins with Moses in the halves. Hopgood and Bowler up front. Smith the hooker. Guymer and Williams second row. Walker the lock forward. Penalty to Parramatta here. So that will give them the first real attacking opportunity in the game. The bench is De Silva, Moretti, Dury and Tuavaiti. And what is a gorgeous night for footy, Billy Moore, as the Eels will get a chance to have the first crack.
Last week, top of the table Canberra found the Eels very difficult. They led the Eels at half-time 16-12. They've started this game red hot, the Eels. They've come to play.
Junior Barlow is taken on the red stripe of the 20 at the attacking end. Plays it to Young Smith in the halves. Directs it out to the left. Hawkins gives it on to Williams, but he's well held up in the defence. Ricky coming across on that right edge to make the tackle. Ball played to Smith, passed infield through Walker. Now Moses gives it on to Geimer. That Geimer is tackled centre park and 18 metres from the Broncos line. They're in the top rows of the stands here. It's going to be a big crowd tonight. Left-hand side, Hawkins gives it on, but no way through for the left edge attack of the Eels there, as Williams is tackled only 8 metres out, back to the right in centre field. Shown by Walker, given to the right to Moses, through to Papali, now out to the edge for Lomax, floating pass. Lomax had to wait and gets picked up and chucked over the touchline by 3 Broncos defenders. And there's just a little bit of jumpers held at arm's length out there, and that floating ball left Lomax in a very vulnerable position. So 38-32 the final score in Townsville in favour of the Cowboys. And of course you can get in touch on 0467 920 222. No changes to the selected sides here.
Great start.